After stepping forward to accuse the person in front of her, the female employee took out her phone and played a hidden video showing the young man with gray hair in a bathroom. She confirmed that manager Meng often secretly diluted unfinished drinks with water, then stored them here. The customers outside, upon hearing this, were furious and swore, "Damn, no wonder it tastes completely different." One of them added, "If the bottle's been open for a while, the taste changes. I paid tens of millions for this wine, and you're diluting it with water. What a disgrace." The young man with gray hair still tried to argue, saying, "You bastard, you're talking nonsense. This is my stuff. I water it down to lower the alcohol content and drink it myself. Are you trying to frame me? Tomorrow I'll fire you, blacklist you, and make sure you can't get a job in this city ever again. Not only that, I'll have someone break your legs. You really think he'd give you 3 million yuan? You're such a fool. You've been tricked." At this point, the girl couldn't take it anymore. She immediately shouted, "I've been sick of working here for so long, being insulted and mistreated every day. Even without that 3 million yuan, I'll expose you and make sure you end up in prison for life. Today, even if I have to die, I'll make you pay for what you've done." Taehyung didn't say much. He simply scanned the code and transferred 3 million yuan to the woman. When the successful transfer notification sounded, the entire room suddenly fell into silence. At that moment, Taehyung spoke up and praised her. "Honestly, you were very brave. Just this alone is enough to put him behind bars for a few months. This is a well-deserved reward for you." The young man with gray hair witnessing this grew furious and cursed, "You bastard." Meanwhile, the staff members nearby began whispering to each other. "This rich kid is filthy rich, no doubt, and he actually follows through on his promises. If we all stand together and file complaints, plus pile up more charges, we don't have to fear Manager Meng coming out of jail for revenge." "Okay then, let's do it." And so, the group of staff members rushed to report the matter. "I also have evidence of that bastard manager's crimes. I know I have plenty of proof of his wrongdoings." The female attendants, seeing this, also gathered the courage to speak up. "I have evidence on my phone showing Manager Meng abused his position, oppressed us, and cut our pay. He even bullied the new recruit, pushing that person to the point of jumping off a building. He deserves to die 1,000 times. I have solid proof that Manager Meng has been secretly selling illegal drugs to customers." With countless accusations thrown at him, he became completely disoriented. The young man with the gray hair could only stand there helplessly, unable to say anything. But Taehyung had already achieved his goal. He laughed loudly, praising everyone for their excellent work. "With this pile of evidence, it's enough to get you locked away for decades. If the situation is serious enough, you might even get the death penalty." That final sentence sparked his ultimate rage. With bloodshot eyes, he rushed forward, ready to hit someone. His mouth was nonstop with curses. "You bastards! You useless, poor trash! You dare to rebel? All of you should die." But Taehyung remained calm, hands in his pockets, and casually asked, "You still want to hit someone? Just sit in prison quietly, you piece of scum." Suddenly, the young man with gray hair froze. Tears and snot ran down his face as he yelled uncontrollably, "I get it now. You guys are definitely from a rival bar sent to take down our deadly operation. You're really evil." Before he could finish his sentence, Taehyung cut him off. Jae-suk shouted, "Shut up." As expected, even now, you still don't understand. In your eyes, me fighting over 2 yuan and 6 yuan is because a competitor targeted us, or because I'm deliberately causing trouble, right? Maybe to you, 2 yuan and 6 yuan seems insignificant. But you don't know every single cent of that is the result of our hard work, the sweat and tears of people like us who work tirelessly day in and day out. Not only did you refuse to pay, but you've also trampled on our dignity. Even now, when you're on the verge of destruction, you still don't realize your mistake, do you? Look me in the eyes. Answer me right now." The crowd, hearing this, echoed loudly, "Answer us right now." The young man with the gray hair stood frozen, not knowing what to do. Suddenly, 3 police officers walked in and asked loudly, "Who just called the police?" The staff immediately shouted together, "It was us." Afterward, the police conducted a thorough investigation. The young man with the gray hair was found to be involved in several serious crimes. He was fined 2.6 million yuan and sentenced to 38 years in prison. The bar and related properties were permanently shut down. And even then, the situation was far from over. The police have launched a full-scale crackdown on bars in Jiang City. All bars have been ordered to shut down for a 3-month overhaul, causing an estimated loss of hundreds of millions of yuan. Inside a prison, the young man with gray hair is constantly asking himself, how did it end up like this? Can I really sit in prison for 38 years over just 2.6 million yuan? He keeps screaming, "I was wrong. I'll return the 2.6 million yuan right now. I was wrong. I really was wrong." But all he gets in response are 4 walls and a few batemans from the prison guards. The scene shifts to the night market. At this moment, Taehyung is celebrating his victory with his friends. Even though he's already a billionaire at a young age, Taehyung is thrilled to sit on the sidewalk drinking beer with his close friends. The bar staff and waitresses are also filled with happiness as each one of them received 3 million yuan from Taehyung, just as promised. The scene then transitions to a few days later in the morning. Jin-gu is walking down the street, hand in hand with his girlfriend. Xiao Hua, today is your birthday. Have you decided where you'd like to celebrate? Xiao Hua heard the question and smiled brightly before replying, I've been so busy I totally forgot. Let me check online to see if there are any new places opening up nearby. After about 10 minutes of searching, Xiao Hua suddenly called out to Jin-gu, Hey, look at this cafe. It looks so nice. I've seen so many check-in videos there lately, but the comments say a cup of coffee costs over 200 yuan. That's way too expensive. Maybe we should try somewhere else? Jin-gu immediately cut in, It's fine. I've made some extra money from working a bit lately, so if you really like it, let's go there and try it. When they got to the cafe, they found themselves waiting in a long line that stretched out onto the street. By chance, Taehyung's group was nearby. As they crossed the street, Taehyung spotted Jin-gu and immediately called over his friends to double-check. Jae-suk, seeing this, felt a bit annoyed. No wonder when he asked if Jin-gu wanted to go for hot pot, he said he was busy. Turns out, he was sneaking off to a fancy place like this with his girlfriend. Jin-gu really seems to value relationships more than friends. He needed a lesson in priorities. At that moment, Taehyung suggested, how about we secretly take some embarrassing shots of him flirting with his girl and share it with the group? She wanted to embarrass him in front of everyone. Tae also smirked, praising, Nice one. Let him feel the shame of forgetting his friends when there's a girl around. Jae-suk chipped in with his opinion, I like this. The scene then shifted to the inside of a cafe. As soon as Xiao Hua stepped in, she could tell that the place was very upscale. The waitress, looking irritated, confirmed, Your seat is over here. But Xiao Hua noticed that the tables near the windows were all empty and suggested, We'd like to sit over there by the window where it's cooler. The waitress quickly responded, No, those spots are reserved at a higher price. Regular customers can only sit here. Hearing that, Jin-gu felt helpless and reassured her, It's fine, I'll use the flash on my phone to help you take brighter pictures. Although Xiao Hua was a little annoyed, she reluctantly sat down at the dimly lit spot. After Jin-gu and Xiao Hua settled into a table in the dark corner, Taehyung's group walked in and sat at a table not far away. Jae-suk noticed this and felt a bit bothered. From this distance, he couldn't see what they were up to. Tae, who was usually the most easygoing in the group, started getting frustrated with the cafe's service as well. This cafe even has a class distinction when it comes to seating. It's really hard to understand. At that moment, Taehyung suddenly noticed something. From the outside, a couple dressed in elegant clothing walked in. Immediately, 3 staff members rushed over, bowing and greeting them. Welcome, dear customers. May I ask if you've made a reservation? Please enjoy a hot towel. These are freshly made handmade cookies, a gift for you. The blonde-haired girl spoke up, praising them. This cafe really lives up to its reputation. The service is truly attentive. The man in the suit then confirmed, We haven't made a reservation. But the waitress remained extremely friendly, constantly nodding and responding. That's okay, please follow me. They were then seated in a very bright spot near the glass window and were served with great care. Afterward, the waitress introduced. This spot has good lighting and offers a great view of the bustling street outside. Here is the menu. What kind of coffee would you like? I can make some suggestions. Tae watched this scene, her face turning unhappy, as she kept judging the absurd behavior of the staff. It's true that you shouldn't judge people by their appearance. Over here, Xiao Hua was looking at his phone while calling out to Jin-gu. There are a few pictures on Weibo. How about we order this strawberry cake later? But Jin-gu was still confused and kept wondering. We've been sitting here for over 10 minutes, but no one has come to take our order. There's no QR code on the table to scan and order anything either. So he raised his voice and called for a waiter. The only response he got was a menu slammed onto the table, followed by a very rude remark. Just look at the menu if you eat anything. When Jin-gu looked at the menu, his eyes nearly popped out. His mouth started watering in shock. One dish on the menu cost as much as a whole month's salary. A regular coffee was priced at 288 yuan, which was about the same as a full day's work for him. And a 4-inch strawberry cake was priced at 988 yuan. Well, it was only a few days' worth of work after all. Seeing Jin-gu frozen and silent, Xiao Hua grabbed the menu to take a look, and her expression mirrored Jin-gu's exactly. After a moment of hesitation, not knowing what to do, Xiao Hua whispered into Jin-gu's ear, Let's just go home. Because the prices here are so high, the food doesn't even taste good. As soon as the two of them walked in, the waitress immediately spoke up loudly. Please order quickly, we're very busy. She then muttered to herself, thinking, with that worn-out look, I can tell they're just poor students. They're probably going to take forever, and I won't get any tip from these broke people. Suddenly, Jingu grabbed Xiao Ho's hand, reassuring her that everything was fine. Today, just enjoy being a beautiful birthday girl, okay? On the outside, he looked calm, but inside, he was screaming. Half a month's salary had just disappeared in the blink of an eye. Xiao Ho, meanwhile, was deeply moved, silently thinking, Jingu is so good to me. When his birthday comes, I need to prepare an even better gift for him. When they reached the cashier, Jingu found something very strange. Why did they have staff to take orders to the table, but he had to go up to the counter to pay? The cashier explained, there are VIP customers. You order 2 cups of civet coffee and a strawberry cake. The total is 1,564 yuan. How would you like to pay? Jingu was trying to scan the payment code on his phone when an unexpected situation happened. His phone kept spinning, and of course, he still couldn't pay the cashier. The cashier immediately grew annoyed and asked, is there not enough money in your account? Jingu was sure there was money in his account, but he thought it might be a system error. While he was still confused, not understanding what was going on, Xiao Hua stepped up and asked, Jingu, what's wrong? Ah, your phone froze. I don't know why the payment code isn't scanning. Xiao Hua suggested scan my code instead, but Jingu couldn't agree to that. He immediately lifted his phone and tried scanning again. However, the result was still the same. The phone kept spinning. At this point, the cashier was extremely annoyed and said, if you can't pay, I'm afraid we won't be able to continue serving you. Could you please hurry up, or you can choose to go to another place. Jingu, now losing his patience, snapped back. What do you mean? My phone just froze. Are you seriously trying to kick me out after less than a minute? Is there anyone here to serve you like this lady? The cashier girl immediately flashed a scornful smile and said, excuse me, let me be blunt. You're just trying to save face. You don't have money to pay, and we have no obligation to play along. Moreover, our store mainly serves high-end customers. You've been standing here for so long, and you're disrupting the dining experience for the other guests. While Jingu and Xiao Ho were still confused, a delivery guy suddenly ran in asking, my order still isn't ready. The girl immediately pointed to the sign on the wall and shouted, who let you in here? Get out! Didn't you see the sign on the door? No pets or delivery people allowed. The courier, now losing his patience from exhaustion, replied, you think I want to be here? I've been waiting outside for half an hour. You still haven't brought my order. It's 40 degrees Celsius outside. I've been standing in the sun for half an hour already. If I wait any longer, I'll get fined for late delivery. But the girl remained arrogant, asking, what does your fine have to do with us? All I know is your dirty shoes just ruined our expensive floor. Get out of here. Don't disturb the meal of our esteemed guests, the waiter snapped. Just then, a strange voice echoed from above. What's all the noise down there? A man dressed in a suit appeared walking down the stairs. At first glance, he looked like a man, but his face was made up like a wealthy woman. The waiter immediately ran over and whispered to the owner, owner, look at this guy. He's the one who's made a mess on our clean floor. The owner was stunned, his mouth falling open in disbelief. Oh my God, this person, with his lowly status, has ruined my beautifully tiled floor. Do you have any idea how much I spent on the decorations here? Where's the security? Get this delivery person out of here right now. Instantly, 4 security guards appeared. Without saying a word, they kicked the delivery man in the legs, causing him to stumble, fall, and scream in pain, clutching his knee. You're actually hitting someone. Jingu, with his kind-hearted nature, rushed over and shouted loudly, what are you doing? You don't need to treat people like this. But the people at the dining table sat there, completely indifferent. If you're not going to help, then just leave it alone. But now you're even talking directly to the manager. Can you please solve this faster? It's so noisy, and all these people are blocking my shot for a selfie. The manager, always eager to please the customer, immediately forced a smile and said, sorry, sir, I'll take care of it right away. He then turned and started belittling the delivery person. You've dirtied the floor of the shop. I won't make things hard for you, but you need to clean the floor right now and leave. If not, I'll file a complaint against you. This made the delivery person question his life choices, and he asked, I'm just here to pick up food to deliver. Are you really asking me to clean the floor for you? Jingu couldn't hold back and shouted, this is ridiculous. Are you trying to bully an honest person? That's when the shop owner turned his bullying attention to Jingu. I've had enough of you people, he said. Security, throw these people out. How dare they come into my shop like this? Put them on the blacklist. You too, get out now. The security guards, doing their job, immediately stepped forward. Please leave, they said. If not, we'll have to take more serious action. Jin felt guilty for Xiao Hua, knowing that her small birthday had been ruined by his act of kindness. Just then, a flash of light went off. Everyone immediately turned to look and saw Taehyung slowly walking over, speaking up. Oh, look at what I just caught. A little coffee shop trying to push around customers and bully innocent people. This is too interesting. The guy with glasses immediately yelled out, What are you taking pictures of in my shop? Delete it now. The cashier, acting all high and mighty, added, These people haven't even ordered anything. They might be in on it together. The guy with glasses yelled again, Are these poor students just here to enjoy the AC? Someone call security to take that phone from them right now. But before the security guards could even react, Taehyung kicked them down with 3 swift moves, leaving them sprawled on the ground. The guy with glasses, still not backing down, shouted angrily, You little brat, you dare lay hands on people here? Do you think I won't call the police right now? Taehyung had never been afraid of anyone in his life. Immediately, he challenged her, urging her to call the police right away. I'll also report to the Consumer Protection Association about how you only serve rich customers and kick the poor ones out. Let's see how they handle your behavior of choosing customers and kicking others out. Yet he remained completely indifferent, confirming, I don't care. If you're rich, of course, we'll welcome you. But right now, you're just a useless student, so you better leave quickly and let us make money. Upon hearing this, Taehyung immediately shot back, So, according to you, as long as someone has money, we'll welcome them no matter what. The cashier girl quickly replied, Exactly. Who in the world doesn't like money? Too bad. You're just a bunch of poor people. Oh, really? But how do you know I don't have money? Taehyung asked. Even a blind person can tell, let alone me. I can see from your clothes and shoes, which are cheap street stuff worth only a few yuan. Do you even know what a rich person looks like? Fake it all you want, but it's not the same. If you were rich, I'd live straight eating feces right here. With that, Taehyung didn't want to argue any longer. He snatched the phone out of the girl's hands. After that, Taehyung made a superhero pose, swiped his unlimited card with a click. The machine beeped and a notification appeared. Your bank account balance is 1 million yuan. This left everyone there stunned. Even the guy with glasses couldn't believe that a poor student like Taehyung had saved up 1 million yuan. But suddenly, he calmed down and spoke. Only 1 million yuan and you're already showing off. Do you even know what you're talking about? One chandelier in my shop cost 1 million yuan. There are people sitting in this shop right now whose bank balances are over 10 million yuan. Only poor students like you would show off just because you managed to scrape together a little bit of money. At that moment, a girl sitting in the distance also spoke up. Kid, let me tell you something. In this world, money isn't everything. What's most important is your connections. She's right. Even just here at Enjang, do you know who the richest people are? The upper class, the ones you can't even dream of getting close to. And the developer of this district is a god, someone from that very circle. But the thing is, he's my closest buddy. And the most valuable thing from God is knowing Boss Kim, a mysterious tycoon whose wealth no one can even guess. When he mentioned me, Taehyung immediately spoke up, confirming, I know that person. But of course, he didn't believe him and kept mocking Taehyung. You're really something, huh? You think you're worthy of even hearing the name Boss Kim? Boss Kim is the true dragon of Enjang. His wealth is unimaginable. Money so much that it could last 3 generations. Your tiny million yuan means nothing to him. It's like a speck of dust. What a joke. After hearing this, Taehyung could only smile. I didn't know you knew Boss Kim so well. But, well, I happen to know him too, but I also know that so-called God you're talking about. But they couldn't believe him. They kept mocking him. You're just full of nonsense. I've met a lot of people who talk big, but you're on another level, kid. Acting all tough like a clown. The guy in the white suit joined in. Who knew going out for coffee would turn into a show? Ha ha ha. In reality, I had already spotted him from a distance, but if he actually shows up, if that kid doesn't wet his pants, I'll live stream eating poop. Seeing that too much time had already been wasted on this, Taehyung directly made a suggestion. Isn't the shop owner your close friend like a brother to you? Then call him over here, let's see if I know him or not. Isn't that much simpler? The guy seemed a bit hesitant and asked, You were saying I should call him. Who do you think you are? What status does that person have? Just because you asked him to come doesn't mean he will. Taehyung seemed to have anticipated this, so he placed his bank card on the table and confirmed. If I don't know him, this 1 million yuan on this card will be yours right away. But if I do know him then, if you want to give me this shot, I'll reluctantly accept. Hearing this, the crowd immediately burst into laughter and started discussing. What is this kid dreaming about? He even thinks the shop owner is going to give him the shop. Have you really been reading Chinese novels for over 180 minutes? Do you actually think you're a billionaire? Boss, hurry up and agree with him. 1 million yuan isn't something you can get for free. Teach this kid a lesson about how cruel society can be. Ha ha ha. Under the pressure of the nosy crowd, the 4-eyed guy immediately confirmed, I agree. Might as well give the people something to watch. But if you lose, not only will that million yuan be mine, but you and all your useless friends will have to kneel and bow down to apologize to me. How about it? Are you brave enough to bet? Jin-gu quickly turned to Taehyung and asked, "Are you sure about this?" As soon as Taehyung confirmed 100% sure, the whole group chimed in together. "We're in." The four-eyed guy immediately pulled out his phone and made a call. "If you guys are so eager to die, I won't stop you." As soon as the person on the other end picked up, he quickly asked, "Are you God?" Sorry to bother you. This is Yan Xiao, the person who came to your office a few days ago with a gift." But God replied that he didn't remember the name Yan Xiao. "Is there something you need?" "I'm busy right now." "Oh wait, didn't I rent a shop from you before? I'd like to invite you over for coffee to discuss future collaboration." But before I could even finish my sentence, the customer confirmed that I wasn't available, which made him panic. He begged me not to hang up and insisted that I listen to him first. The main thing is that today, there's this college student in the shop who clearly doesn't know his place. He keeps saying he knows you and Boss Kim. Right in front of me, he's bragging, using your name and Boss Kim's to show off. I really couldn't stand it, so I thought I should let you know. Do you want me to teach them a lesson? When the customer heard it was a college student who claimed to know both you and Boss Kim, he immediately became curious. He asked, "What does this student look like, and what's his name?" "A college student? He's just an average guy, wearing a t-shirt and flip-flops. His name, I think, is Taehyung." Hearing that, the customer immediately recognized Taehyung, but still pretended to cough and sound annoyed. "Oh, I see. This college student named Taehyung actually dared to slander me and Boss Kim. This is absolutely not acceptable." He looked at the person in front of him and sneered. "Your name is Yan Xiao, right? Send me the location. I'll be there right away to teach him a lesson." Yes. I'll gladly welcome the master's visit," the voice on the other end replied. After hanging up, the master felt like this situation seemed a bit familiar. Isn't that college student named Taehyung actually Boss Kim? Looks like Boss Kim is having some fun again, wearing a t-shirt, flip-flops, and still just an ordinary college student. Ha ha ha, he laughed and continued. "Let's head over there quickly. We need to help Boss Kim teach those who think they can do anything a lesson. Ha ha ha, it's been a while since I've had some fun. Let's go help Boss Kim put on a show." Back on the other side, after hanging up, the four-eyed guy fell into deep thought. "Oh my god, the master really wants to come here. This is perfect. After I deal with this college student, I can invite the master to eat and chat. It'd be great if I could connect with Boss Kim. Then wouldn't I be set for life?" With that thought, he turned to Taehyung and said, "You heard that right? The master is on his way here. Now you know how big of a deal I am, don't you? This is your last chance to admit defeat. Kneel down and bow your head to me, and maybe I'll say a few nice words for you in front of God." Ha ha ha. The customers in the cafe started whispering to each other. "I can't believe God really came here. If you anger him, young man, your future in Enjaying is over. And it's not just Enjaying. He even said he knows Boss Kim. If this really blows up, he won't survive in Yin Duo or Mod Duo either." Taehyung, still confident, laughed loudly. "If you're going that far, then I'll give you one last chance to admit defeat. Yan Xiao, right? Just admit defeat now, kneel, and bow your head to me, and maybe I'll say a few good things about you in front of God." Yan Xiao was furious but managed to keep his composure. He asked coldly, "You won't admit defeat, will you? Starting from now, I'll count down. You're about to fall into despair, kid." The scene then shifted outside the cafe, where God's group had just arrived. A passerby immediately exclaimed, "Oh my god, isn't that a limited edition Ferrari? It's worth at least 9 million yuan. And there's also a Lamborghini Aventador. This one is one of only 30 in the world. How is it parked right here on the street like this?" As soon as the words were out of their mouth, the group of VIPs got out of the car. Just to clarify for those who might not know, the beautiful woman among them is Yang Yoon, one of the fiery female leads Taehyung had once tried to woo. At that moment, the coffee shop erupted in excitement. People were shouting in disbelief, unable to believe what they were seeing. The wealthy elite of Enjaying were all there. The face of the bespectacled man was lit up with a smile, one that needed no watering. He couldn't believe that, apart from the VIPs, there was also young Master Fang, Boss C, and Boss Suck, all famous figures in Enjaying, especially the lady among them, the eldest daughter of the Yang family and the CEO of a major corporation. The company's assets were worth hundreds of billions. He stopped babbling nonsense and immediately rushed over, bowing respectfully, eager to welcome the guests. "Your Excellency, you've arrived, and there are so many big-name CEOs with you. This little shop is truly honored." Haha. In reality, the person in front of him didn't care about him at all. They directly spoke up and asked, "Where's the student you mentioned?" The four-eyed man immediately confirmed that the damn student was inside. What virtues does he have that would make the elders come all the way here? I will. Before he could finish his sentence, everyone walked right past him without paying him any attention. When they saw that the student was indeed Taehyung, they silently confirmed in their minds, as expected, it's Boss Kim. Taehyung, on the other hand, felt a bit helpless in this situation. He could only offer a smile and a wink to show his gratitude. After that wink, the group of people from the higher-ups understood the hint and quickly turned to ask, the person you're talking about is him? The four-eyed man still didn't understand the situation. He continued to smugly confirm that the arrogant student was indeed the one. This guy, Taehyung, keeps insisting that he knows the higher-ups. I even dare disturb Boss Kim over such a trivial matter, so I'm bothered you all to come here and verify it. But if we don't teach him a lesson, I'm afraid he'll keep pushing his luck in the future. He's embarrassing all of you by tarnishing your reputation again and again. The crowd, hearing this, erupted into loud cheers and encouragement. That's right, the boss and the CEOs. This is something we can't let slide. We absolutely have to teach this student a lesson. He doesn't even have money for coffee, but he dares to cause trouble and try to infiltrate the high society. Does he really think he belongs here? Seeing that everyone was on his side, the guy with glasses arrogantly turned to Taehyung. All right, now that the boss is here, do you still dare to say you know him? You've already lost. Go ahead, kneel and bow your head. Taehyung remained completely calm and replied, who says I've lost? Let me tell you, I'm really close with Boss Kim. You probably never met him, right? If you're sincere, maybe I'll show you some mercy and introduce you to him. The people in the cafe immediately burst into laughter, mocking him. With you? You want to introduce us to Boss Kim? Do you even know who he is? Boss Kim is a person of high status and importance, and you're just some student trying to say you can introduce him to us. That's laughable. You're still arguing at this point? What a clown. Taehyung had never been afraid of anyone. He remained calm no matter how chaotic life got. He confirmed, all right, I'll count to 3. Boss Kim will appear right in front of you. The guy with glasses, hearing this, grew even more certain that the big shots were about to punish the fool who was speaking recklessly. And when Taehyung's countdown reached 3, the group of people who served the god rushed over to him, bowing respectfully and calling out, Boss Kim. The scene stunned everyone in the cafe. The guy with glasses looked like his eyes were about to pop out. He couldn't believe that the poor student he had looked down on was actually Boss Kim. But it didn't stop there. The group of people continued their act, still addressing him. How was the yacht you bought last time? Boss Kim? There's going to be a party on it offshore in a few days. We'd be honored if you could join us. Another person chimed in, inspecting his hand, and said, Boss Kim, why would you come to such a shabby place for coffee? This doesn't match your status at all. I have some 500-year-old wine in my private estate in France. Do you need me to personally fly over and deliver it to you, sir? Another person was respectfully pressing her hands together, addressing Boss Kim. Is the high-end sports car you received last time still okay? Would you like to switch to a different one? But the boldest one was Yang Yoon. She went straight up to Taehyung, kissed him on the cheek, and whispered, I miss you so much, my love. Taehyung, with perfect acting skills, replied that he was busy at the moment, but would make time for her later. Be good, my precious. Only then did everyone realize that Taehyung was indeed the legendary Boss Kim. The guy with glasses started to doubt everything he knew about life, falling to the ground and mumbling, Boss Kim, Boss Kim. Is he really the Boss Kim from the legends? Before Taehyung could even respond, someone kicked the glasses guy so hard he lost a tooth. Annoyed, the person scolded, Are you blind? How dare you offend Boss Kim? You're so used to bullying the weak and fearing the strong, aren't you? Now that you want to apologize, it's already too late. Seeing that things were beyond repair, the guy immediately rushed to beg for forgiveness, clinging to Boss Kim's feet. He begged, Please, sir, help me say something good to Boss Kim. But the deity didn't even care, immediately slapping him in the face and angrily saying, You dare to offend Boss Kim? That's like insulting my honor, and now you want me to speak up for you? The guy with long hair stepped forward, calling out, Hey kid, Boss Kim isn't like you. He's always discreet. He's not the type to show off or bully the weak. He doesn't discriminate based on how much money people have because no one has more money than him. Boss Kim is here to stand up for others. So the only thing I can tell you is this, take care of yourself from here on out. The cashier girl was now in despair, her mouth muttering nonstop, I thought he was just a poor student. But it turns out we really did offend Boss Kim. The guy with glasses was at his wit's end, banging his head on the ground until blood was dripping, continuously pleading, Boss Kim, I know I was wrong. I was blind. I bullied the weak. I'm afraid of the strong. I'm cowardly. I sincerely and willingly offer my shot to you. Please, sir, have mercy and forgive me just this once. Taehyung immediately stomped his foot on the man's head, making sure he wasn't letting him off the hook. If you had admitted defeat earlier, I might have reluctantly accepted your apology gift. Unfortunately, it's too late now. Hearing this, the man was so scared he almost wet himself, but his mouth kept betting. Please, Boss Kim, before I was blind, I could know what I was doing. Please take the shot. If you don't, what will I do? The rest of my life? The crowd around them began whispering. Oh my god, he actually peed his pants. He's so scared of Boss Kim that he's wet himself. Is Boss Kim really that terrifying? Are you okay? Manager, quick, stand up and change your pants. But the four-eyed guy just kept screaming frantically. No, if Boss Kim doesn't forgive me, I won't get up. Taehyung, feeling a little exasperated now, replied, Fine, I'll reluctantly take the shot, but I'll give it to this delivery guy who's really passionate about his job. The man froze for a solid 5 seconds after hearing this. He couldn't believe that he had just become the owner of the most expensive coffee shop in the city. The four-eyed guy here wasn't much different from the delivery man. He was both excited and anxious, unsure of Taehyung's intentions, so he asked, Did Boss Kim really give it to you? Taehyung responded with a question of his own. Don't you want to give it? The guy quickly confirmed. Of course, I want to give it. I want to give it. I'm willing to give it to the guy who's so passionate about the job. As long as Boss Kim forgives me, I'd even offer my body if needed. At this point, the delivery man's heart was blooming with joy. His mouth couldn't stop saying, oh my god, did I really just become the owner of this fancy coffee shop? The people on the other side were also in disbelief about life, repeatedly saying, my goodness, just one word from Boss Kim. And suddenly life has turned around. Now the delivery man and the coffee shop owner have swapped places. This is truly a show. Scene shifts to outside the coffee shop. At this moment, a group of VIPs was gathered around Taehyung, constantly confirming that everything was settled and then asking, do you want to go eat with us later? But I guess Boss Kim will be busy later, Taehyung said, confirming Yang Yoon still understands me the best, my closest brothers. A debt of gratitude that words can't express. A few days from now, I'll treat everyone to a meal. You all have to come. I'm busy today. I have to go celebrate a birthday with my roommate. So, goodbye everyone. He finished running over to Jin-gu, wrapping his arm around him, and heading off to Hot Pot with a bright, happy mood. The scene switched to a hotel. At this point, Taehyung was relentlessly dealing with the bad guys. Once the situation was under control, Lee Sang-yi appeared and called out to Taehyung. Are you hurt anywhere? She asked softly. Taehyung immediately switched into hero mode. Don't worry, these assassins never even got close enough to touch my clothes. What about you? You're not hurt anywhere, are you? When Lee Sang-yi suddenly blushed and said she was a bit nervous, Taehyung leaned in closer, startled. What? Did they poison you or something? But Lee Sang-yi shook her head and then shyly looked up, whispering, I'm nervous because of you. Before Taehyung could respond, Lee Sang-yi quickly leaned in and kissed him. I'm sorry, but I can't fulfill that request. Let me know if you need help with something else. She still clearly remembers that this person is Director Do from Circle TV, who had helped her a lot when she was promoting the movie Little Hand Unbeatable. Later, when the film was uploaded to the TV station's streaming platform, they even offered her a special discounted rate. At this moment, Director Do also confessed that the 6th season of Island Idol was scheduled to air next week. We'd like to invite you to participate. Do you have any open dates? Lee Sang-yi was well aware that Island Idol was a popular dating show on Circle TV. They would choose 3 men and 3 women, a total of 6 people, and send them to a deserted island to live for 5 days. Through various competitions, the men and women would develop feelings for each other. In the end, the couple who successfully held hands and left the island together would win. Moreover, the show often invited regular people as guests, not just celebrities. It also had no scripted format, and each season's voting was extremely high. The chat comments were always overflowing. The show was designed for audience interaction, with plenty of discussions and pairing possibilities, creating countless viral memes online. Its engagement was off the charts. Thinking about this, Sang-yi immediately called out, Director Do, it seems like you're not in charge of this program. Why are you reaching out to me? Plus, you know I don't like participating in variety shows, right? Director Do smiled brightly and confirmed that was correct. But the higher-ups think that you and I are fairly familiar with each other, so they asked me to be intermediary. Also, I heard you have a new movie coming out soon, right? You also know that our station loves to have celebrities on variety shows to promote their new films. Lee Sang-yi immediately apologized after hearing this. I don't want to get involved in any dating rumors with anyone, so before Lee Sang-yi could finish, Director Do interrupted, asking her not to hang up yet. You're very popular right now, and we're genuinely interested in working with you. There are plenty of bonuses on the line in this program, and it could also help promote your new movie. Plus, if you don't want to spark any dating rumors, that's fine. We just ask that you don't hold hands with any of the male guests. You know that this show doesn't have a script. We're just missing 2 guests now, 1 male and 1 female. Please, as a favor to a friend, I'm asking you. Consider it a debt I owe you, alright? Lee Sang-yi suddenly remembered something and immediately confirmed that she could participate, but she had one request, to bring along a regular friend of hers. Director Du quickly confirmed that it was no problem at all, since every season of the show usually has at least a few regular people. Alright, it's settled then. Thank you so much. After hanging up, Lee Sang-yi continued to overthink. She was sure it was because she missed Taehyung so much that she dreamed about him like that. But she didn't know how to bring it up to him. This variety show was definitely an opportunity to spend more time with Taehyung over the next 5 days. She would find the right moment and clear up any misunderstandings from before. Meanwhile, at the male dormitory, Taehyung's phone suddenly buzzed with a new message. It was from Lee Sang-yi, asking if he was free to join her for a variety show. After reading it, Taehyung fell into deep thought. The idea of a free vacation on an island with an appearance fee and a bonus sounded great. He was definitely going. Plus, it had been a while since he last saw Sang-yi. A few days later, the news came on TV. The new survival reality show mixed with dating called Island Idol had started airing. Welcome to Season 6 of Island Idol. I'm Dahai, and I'm Xiaobai. The person next to me is the title sponsor for this season, the famous cosmetics company from Injiang, CEO of the single-member company Runji Yuan Run Lady. The goal of Island Idol this season remains the same. 6 handsome men and beautiful women will be stranded on an island, hungry and desperate, competing and cooperating to reach a wealthy island, escape poverty, and embrace wealth and success together. The winning couple will receive a prize of 1 million yuan. Please support and vote for your favorite contestants. Every day we'll announce the support percentages for each guest. On the final day, the man and woman with the highest support will be crowned the winners. But here's the twist. The man and woman who win the prize won't necessarily end up together. And even if they do, they may not win the prize. How will their relationships develop? Let's wait and see. Now, let's welcome the first male contestant. The top celebrity, Suji Chen. Please welcome the second male guest, the famous Korean model Park Tae-jun. When Yuan Run heard this, he immediately shouted, "My Ji Chen." This left MC Dahai speechless, sighing quietly. That was a shock. Luckily, the cameras had been focused on the guests, so this moment wasn't broadcast. If the audience saw that the sponsor was a crazed fan of Ji Chen, it would have been really awkward. MC Xiao Bai quickly reassured everyone, it's fine. About 80% of the cameras are focused on the guests, and the live broadcast doesn't have too many cameras focused on us. After all, she was the big boss. She only sponsored the show because of her brother, right? It could be said that she was paying for the whole thing just to support him. At that moment, the audience was going wild, shouting and cheering. Ji Chen is so handsome. Ji Chen is so handsome. Oh my gosh, take me, Ji Chen. Everyone, send your comments to support him. Wow, he's perfect. I'm dying. Then the MC continued, please welcome our third male guest from the literature department of Injiang University, the guy in shorts, Taehyung. The audience once again started typing in their evaluations. How's it going with the university students? Having college students as guests is a first. Normally, it's people who already have jobs. He's pretty good looking, but compared to Ji Chen, he's still far behind. Next, let's welcome the first female guest, beauty blogger with over 8 million fans across the internet, Buling. Buling is so cute. I watch her makeup videos every day. Next, let's welcome the second female guest, contemporary dancer with some fame, Yao Xiao. Now let's invite the third female guest, film queen Lee Sang-yi. At this point, the audience starts going wild with comments. Did they really manage to invite Sang-yi? She's so beautiful. Sang-yi is my wife. This Circle TV station is so high class. I watched Idol Island just because of Sang-yi. Is this beauty for real? The other 2 female guests are immediately being overshadowed. After introducing the guests, the competition begins. At this moment, host Dahai also speaks through the loudspeaker. Hello to the 6 survivors stranded on the deserted island. This island is called Thirsty Island. True to its name, resources here are extremely limited. You need to use your intelligence, strength, and a bit of luck to survive and figure out how to get out of here. The first rule of survival on this deserted island is food. However, aimlessly searching for food on a hungry island is not a wise move. So the production team has prepared 3 sets of tools, high-level, mid-level, and low-level cards for the 3 male guests. Using these tools will be very helpful in finding food. The 3 male guests will participate in a race. The tool cards are placed at the finish line. The first one to reach the finish line will receive the high-level tool card. Upon hearing this, Wu Ling immediately decided that this competition was meant for Ji Chen. because he had always been an excellent sprinter. On the variety show Runaway Boys, where he participated, no one could run faster than him. Yao Xiao also agreed with Bu Ling's analysis, saying, "I've seen the videos too. His running posture is especially graceful." Meanwhile, Su Yitchin was evaluating Lee Sang-yi as the perfect woman. From her appearance, demeanor, talent, to her personality, everything about her was flawless. Only a woman like her is worthy of me, he thought. Lee Sang-yi was silently praying for Taehyung, thinking to himself, I really want to talk to him, but I have to follow the rules of the show. We can't let the audience know that the guests know each other outside of the show. It would ruin the surprise and mystery of the program. Then the host, Dahai, called for the start. Immediately, the three guys took off, speeding like powerful motorcycles. But in the eyes of the swooning girls, the one with the best running posture was still Su Yitchin. Just looking into his incredibly captivating eyes, they were completely smitten, screaming nonstop, I want to catch the things he kicks with my face. Your face isn't big enough. Let me help you, one of them teased. Others found these comments ridiculous. Even though they were just displayed on the screen, it felt as if I could hear their wild screams. Are these people crazy, fams? This is so scary. The flood of comments on the screen was so overwhelming. Meanwhile, the wealthy woman Run Ji was screaming the name Ji Chen. He's actually leading the race all on his own. While yelling, she thought to herself, this is a competition I specially designed for him. It was meant to showcase his good looks perfectly on screen, turning many passersby into fans, but in the next moment, an unexpected scene left everyone frozen. Taehyung surprisingly easily surpassed Xu Ji Chen. Without hesitation, he quickly snatched the high-end tool card. This left everyone utterly amazed. The most shocked of them all was the wealthy woman, Run Ji. She repeatedly asked the two hosts what just happened. Meanwhile, Lee Sang-yi found himself even more captivated by Taehyung. His mouth involuntarily muttered two words, so fast. This made the two other girls feel like something was off. They stared at Lee Sang-yi, making him blush deeply. Then host Ahai confirmed, I didn't expect Taehyung to be this skilled. Please have the three gentlemen head over to the large box nearby to receive their corresponding tools. The high-end tool card could be exchanged for a carbon fishing rod and premium bait. One would need to go to the sea to search for food. The mid-tier tool card was a long pole, which meant going up a tree to find food. The low-tier tool card was a pair of gloves for basic tasks. They had to search for food on the grassy field. The reward for the winner was a big, luxurious, and delicious meal, along with the chance to choose a girl to enjoy it with. The time limit was 1 hour, and whoever found the most food of the highest quality would win. Now, let the food hunt begin. After wandering around for a while, Su Yitchin found a few fruit-bearing trees. As he picked the fruits, he thought to himself, even though I didn't win first place in the race, I didn't want to be out in the sun or go into the water anyway. The trees were full of food, and with only 1 hour, how could fishing or mushroom picking compete with this? Ha ha ha, I've got this round in the bag. While picking fruit, Su Yitchin wiped the sweat off his face, and his actions accidentally caught on camera. This led to a lively discussion among the viewers watching the live stream. He's just picking fruit, but he looks so handsome doing it. I have to screenshot this and set it as my phone's wallpaper. Look at his abs showing under his shirt. He's truly perfect. Meanwhile, Park Tae-jun was still fumbling around, trying to figure out which mushrooms were edible and which ones weren't. But with his half-baked knowledge, he eventually brought back a few familiar mushrooms, specifically 2 black mushrooms and 5 shiitake mushrooms. As for Chu Ji Chen, he returned with 2 ripe mangoes, a dried coconut, and some black fruit I couldn't even recognize. Bu Ling and Yao Xiao immediately praised Ji Chen, saying he was amazing. Though it wasn't much, on a deserted island like this, it was still a pretty good haul. It was clear, right? The winner is... But before Bu Ling could finish her sentence, Lee Sang-yi immediately spoke up, confirming that Taehyung still hadn't returned. Upon hearing this, Yao Xiao couldn't help but mock. Not that I'm doubting Taehyung, but with such a short time, there's no way he caught any fish. Park Tae-jun cut him off with a sigh. Too bad the person who got the fishing rod wasn't me. With my fishing skills, catching a kilogram in an hour is still totally possible. But just as Park Tae-jun finished speaking, Taehyung appeared, announcing, I'm back. The 5 of them immediately turned around when they heard Taehyung's voice, and there he was carrying a pile of fish and shrimp, enough for all 3 of them to eat. The 3 girls and 2 guys immediately froze, standing still like statues. Lee Sang-yi, on the other hand, was even more captivated and couldn't stop silently praising Taehyung for being so impressive. After placing everything on the table, Taehyung confirmed, we have lobster, oysters, scallops, and sea urchin here. Park Tae-jun spoke up to share his thoughts. The sea urchin this season is the fattest. Just imagining it makes me feel how fresh and sweet it must be. Yao Xiao also complimented, This lobster is huge. Ling could only drool, mumbling something, but I couldn't make out what it was. At that moment, the host Tay announced the winner of this food search contest is Taehyung. According to the statistics, his fan count has increased by several thousand. However, Runji, the wealthy one, disagreed. Even if Taehyung wins a small contest, it doesn't matter. Image and traffic are the real deciding factors. The host Tay continued loudly, the winner Taehyung. Please choose a girl to join you for a luxurious lunch. Taehyung glanced at the three girls, smiled, and then confirmed. The person I choose is Lee Sang-yi. It seemed that Ling and Yao Xiao had already expected this. As for Lee Sang-yi, she felt like she was about to win Taehyung over completely. When Taehyung chose Lee Sang-yi, Yao Xiao immediately thought how lucky she was not to be picked. She considered Taehyung just an ordinary college student and didn't want to have a private dinner with someone like him. Ling also agreed with Yao Xiao's point of view. According to the show's contract, to create a good dynamic, male and female guests who are alone together must actively engage in conversation to avoid an awkward atmosphere. However, having to chat with a poor college student would be a real struggle. But if he likes Lee Sang-yi, then maybe we can find a chance to get close to Su Yitchin, right? Park Ta-jun, after observing for a while, also realized the issue. Su Yitchin clearly likes Lee Sang-yi too, so it looks like I'll have to try my best in the next rounds. On the other side, Su Yitchin was thinking something different. A perfect girl like Lee Sang-yi isn't someone an ordinary college student like me can ever get close to. Even though he knew for sure that Lee Sang-yi didn't like him, Su Yitchin's smug face really annoyed him. Then, a table full of food was brought out. With his expert cooking skills, Taehyung had prepared dishes that were worthy of a 3-star Michelin restaurant. On a romantic beach, to break the silence, Sang-yi spoke up immediately. Relaxing in the cool seawater while enjoying a delicious lunch, this experience is truly special. Taehyung, hearing this, happily agreed, I feel the same way. Sang-yi, you're so young and already won the Film Queen Award. That must put a lot of pressure on you, right? As soon as he said that, Taehyung quickly thought to himself that the show's contract strictly prohibited letting the audience know if the guests were familiar with each other, so it was best to stick to ordinary topics. Lee Sang-yi, fully aware of this rule, pretended to be serious and replied, Actually, the biggest pressure comes from my investor. I owe him so much. Is the pressure of schoolwork big for you? Do you still have time or mood for a relationship? Well, right now I'm really busy, so I don't have much time to think about love. Upon hearing this, Lee Sang-yi's heart began to flutter, thinking that Taehyung must not have a girlfriend. That meant there might still be a chance for him. Feeling too shy, Lee Sang-yi quickly changed the subject, complimenting how good the ice cream looked. Taehyung also joined in, asking, Do you want to try some? He then scooped a spoonful of ice cream and offered it to Lee Sang-yi. She blushed, opened her mouth, and eagerly licked the spoon. MC Tae immediately shouted, announcing, It looks like there's some chemistry between the college student and our film queen. Soon, a flood of negative comments appeared. That commenter doesn't deserve someone like Sang-yi. She was just being polite with a smile. What chemistry are they talking about? The host should just keep quiet if they don't know what they're saying. Speaking of which, I saw the video of Lee Sang-yi kissing a stuntman before she became famous, and this guy, Taehyung, looks just like him. Does that ring a bell? I didn't see it. Why hadn't I heard of it? The intimate moment between the two was accidentally witnessed by Su Yitchin. He was grinding his teeth in anger, cursing Taehyung under his breath for being a shameless, poor college student. He thought winning a small game made him special. A regular college student was nothing compared to Lee Sang-yi. Lee Sang-yi was just being friendly because it was part of the show. That's professionalism, he muttered bitterly. Suddenly, Park Ta-jun spoke up, asking Su Yitchin to join them for a meal. Since they were the losing team, each person was only given 2 packs of dried rations and a bottle of water. At that moment, Su Yitchin suddenly had an idea. He decided to make a delicious mushroom soup using wood ear mushrooms and some types of mushrooms that Park Ta-jun had dug up from the ground. As for the lobster and oysters, without the proper cooking tools and seasonings, they were hard to prepare, so they could only be admired for their looks. However, eating seafood on a deserted island wasn't exactly the best choice. Yao Xiao, upon hearing this, also thought of Su Yitchin as a well-educated and knowledgeable person. On the other hand, Ling was looking forward to tasting the dish that Su Yitchin had made. Hearing this, Su Yitchin became even more confident in his own knowledge. So what if they started at a disadvantage? No matter where I am, I'm still the one who stands out the most, and the popularity of this show directly correlates with how much support I get. After more than 20 minutes, Su Yitchin had finished cooking the mushroom soup. The 2 girls ate and praised his cooking skills as being top-notch. But just 30 minutes later, all 3 toilets were packed with people. and it was none other than the four people who had eaten the mushroom soup Su Yitchin had made earlier. The viewers couldn't help but burst into laughter. Ha! It was truly a shameful and embarrassing display. It's pitiful, but also so funny. I'm off to bang the meditation drum and repent now. Meanwhile, the crazy fans of Su Yitchin are defending him blindly. He's a good person, you know. Do any of you have any compassion? It's clearly the fault of the compressed cookies or the purified water. The show's team needs to give a clear explanation about this right now. Exactly. The mushroom soup was cooked thoroughly by Yitchin. How could it be poisonous? Later that evening, the host, Taehyung, announced the results of the first day's support rate. No surprise, Su Yitchin had an overwhelming 95% support rate. Below, there were countless positive comments. Yitchin is my forever unshakable star. Yitchin doesn't lose, his passion never stops. The whole fan club will support him all the way to the stars. Completely deserved top spot, no competition. These effeminate male celebrities are all so weak. Even a college student can't be beaten. Next came Park Taehyung with a 70% support rate. Alpa Taehyung is amazing, the king of the modeling world. Use your double door fridge to crush me, please. Why didn't a variety show in Hogwo invite a Korean guest to join? Next is Taehyung with 19% of the support. Many encouraging comments can still be seen below, such as, hang in there, senior. I'm from Jian University too. Proud to see someone from our school here. Some viewers expressed concern. We're not very familiar with this guest yet. Is he the right fit to share the screen with Sang Yi? Hopefully the producers will consider how the story unfolds. Next up is Liang with 80% of the votes. Liang shines brightly. You're amazing, sister. You saved my pride and my wallet. I'm giving you all my votes. Following is Yao Xiao with 70% support. Yao Xiao's dance is graceful and captivating. Even in a wild setting, her elegance shines through. And finally, Lee Sang-yi leads with 90% support. Her soft presence sparkles like the Milky Way. Her icy beauty glows with light. Her figure is refined like jade, and her eyes shine with promise. She looks stunning even without makeup. Sang-yi, I admire you so much. You're so genuine and kind to everyone. How can someone be this perfect? Sang-yi, you should be careful and not stand too close to strangers. After that, the six of them went into the six tents that had been prepared beforehand to sleep. At this moment, Su Yitchin's stomach was growling, but in his mind, he kept reassuring himself optimistically that today was just a technical issue. Even though something unexpected had happened today, in the next challenge, he was determined to make Lee Sang-yi fall under his charm. Lee Sang-yi, you can only belong to me. I'm the only choice for you in this world. The scene shifts to the next morning. At this point, MC Taehyung was announcing, today marks the second day of the Idol Survival Island program. Everyone knows that water is the most important element for the human body. Finding a clean, abundant water source is more useful than any kind of food, and it even allows you to bathe. So today's challenge was for the 3 female guests. Whoever found the water source that the production team had set up beforehand would be the winner. And of course, the winner would receive a refreshing prize pack from the program. However, searching on such a large deserted island, whether they'd actually find it or not, was another story. There's even a chance they could get lost, so the production team prepared a water finding tool for the 3 female guests. It's a compass, along with the privilege of starting 15 minutes earlier, but only one of the female guests could get this tool by winning a challenge on the floating raft to determine who would claim it. The rules for the floating raft battle are simple. The 3 female guests must push the other 2 off the raft. The last person remaining on the raft will win the water finding privilege card. Please welcome the female guests to the stage. At this moment, 3 women stepped forward, each with curves that made every guy swoon. Instantly, countless comments appeared. Yao Xiao's abs are on point. No wonder she's a dance expert. Those long legs. Ling's waist is so slim. Sang Yi is so beautiful. It's the first time seeing Sang Yi in a swimsuit. Thank you, show, for airing this. Ah, now everyone, how is Sang Yi so pretty and has such a perfect figure? The 3 guys couldn't help but blush. Their mouths kept exclaiming, holy shit. Each one is unique. They're all perfect in their own way. The scene moved to the 3-meter-wide floating raft. At this moment, the 3 girls had already put on their swimsuits and were ready to go. The host, Taehyung, started explaining the rules. Remember, no hair pulling, no yanking clothes, and no punching or kicking with your hands or feet. Got it? All right, let's get ready. On one side, Ling was thinking, it's best if those 2 go at it and end up beating each other up, so in the end, I'll be the one who benefits. Yao Xiao, on the other hand, had a different thought. Although she had been drained by a bad stomach the day before, she still had the advantage in terms of stamina. Yao Xiao thought, first, I'll take care of Lee Sang-yi, then deal with Ling. It's the perfect plan. Today, I absolutely need to find a way to interact with Yitchin. Meanwhile, Lee Sang-yi was sweating nervously. Her gaze was fixed on Taehyung, almost as if she was silently asking for his support. When the starting signal was given, Yao Xiao immediately charged at Lee Sang-yi. Before Lee Sang-yi could react, Yao Xiao had already wrapped her arms around her tiny waist. Then, with a swift MMA-style takedown, Lee Sang-yi lost her balance and fell onto the floating mat. Seeing this, Yao Xiao taunted her. "Sang-yi, I really like your movies, but this is a competition, so I'm sorry in advance." Yao Xiao continued to crawl up Lee Sang-yi's body, but because of the open position, netizens began flooding the comments section. "Yao Xiao's legs are incredible. I declare this the best variety show I've watched this year. Even though I really like Sang-yi, Yao Xiao's legs are just flawless." On the other side, the men started blushing and cheering. Come on, come on. It looks like Sang-yi is about to lose." Realizing the situation was getting out of hand, Lee Sang-yi quickly turned to Bu Ling and said, "Bu Ling, after I get pushed off, you're next." Upon hearing this, Bu Ling immediately broke out in a cold sweat and yelled, "I'm coming to save you, Lee Sang-yi." Then Bu Ling rushed forward and tightly grabbed Yao Xiao's thigh. This 2-against-1 situation caused Yao Xiao's legs to spread wide open, revealing everything. Once the situation calmed down, Lee Sang-yi quickly grabbed Yao Xiao's other leg and shouted, "Let's push her off together." Then the two girls were struggling to spread Yao Xiao's legs further apart, but something about the situation felt off. Lee Sang-yi also realized the issue and yelled, "Bu Ling, you're pulling the wrong way. You're pushing her in the wrong direction." Bu Ling was a bit startled when she heard this, but the biggest winners weren't the three girls, it was the three guys. On this side, Taehyung's nosebleed had started flowing heavily. He didn't forget to give the three girls a thumbs up of appreciation. His mouth kept praising them, saying that this scene alone was worth the price of admission. At this moment, Yao Xiao had regained his composure. He immediately shouted, "It's my turn now." Then Yao Xiao performed a handstand, sending his legs up into the air, using the force of his legs to kick Lee Sang-yi and Bu Ling to the sides. Caught off guard, Bu Ling lost her balance and fell straight into the water. The online community immediately exploded with comments. "My blim blim, someone hurry and pull her out before it's too late. Oh, my hometown river." MC Taehyung confirmed that Bu Ling had been eliminated. Now only Lee Sang-yi and Yao Xiao were left on the battlefield. Without giving Lee Sang-yi a chance to stabilize, Yao Xiao charged and pinned her leg down. But due to the force, the two girls' sensitive areas collided, creating an awkward and hard-to-explain position. Seeing this, the host Taehyung immediately shouted, "Oh my gosh! Yao Xiao can actually grab Lee Sang-yi and spin her around. This core strength is unbeatable. If Lee Sang-yi doesn't figure out a way to counter it, she's going to roll into the water." After struggling for a moment, Lee Sang-yi realized just how powerful Yao Xiao really was. At that point, a familiar voice rang out. It turns out that Taehyung is cheering wildly. He's telling Sang-yi to hang in there. He believes she will win. He knows she can do it. Host Taehyung immediately raised a question. Wait, is Taehyung really cheering for Sang-yi? But host Xiao Bai thought that no amount of cheering would make a difference. The outcome was already clear. Meanwhile, Su Yitchin was looking quite handsome, silently thinking, "Although I really want Sang-yi to win, the situation right now is obviously irreversible. Next, Yao Xiao will definitely win and get the water-seeking prop. Then he'll choose me and we'll enjoy the cooling fruit pack together. Haha, with so many people fighting for it, I'm pretty helpless. Sang-yi, you'll have to try harder next time." Park Tae-jun thought that Taehyung was making all that noise to create an effect with Lee Sang-yi, but he believed that as long as he was here, Taehyung wouldn't succeed. When Lee Sang-yi heard Taehyung's encouraging words, her face immediately turned red. She couldn't help but wonder, did Taehyung really just cheer for me? This gave Lee Sang-yi a sudden burst of energy, like she had just been recharged by 200%. In the next moment, she planted her other foot at the floating mat and her body began to shift into a crawling position. Determined, she thought to herself, "This time, I have to win." On the other side, Yao Xiao also felt something was off. However, with a fierce determination, she silently swore, "There's no way I'm letting her win." But before she could react, Lee Sang-yi used the strength in her right leg and pushed Yao Xiao toward the edge of the mat. Then, with a quick motion, she kicked her left leg, easily sending Yao Xiao into the water. Su Yitchin and Park Tae-jun were both stunned by the scene. Only Taehyung was overjoyed, shouting, "Sang-yi is the champion. Sang-yi is amazing." Meanwhile, the viewers' comments exploded. "Too cool. Someone check if Lee Sang-yi knows martial arts. Is this even possible scientifically? 1 second, she's struggling, and the next, she's like a completely different person. Did Sang-yi hack the game? The Ice Queen has arrived. This miraculous comeback, I bow to you. Even the two MCs in the audience couldn't stop cheering. Lee Sang-yi has won, I can't believe it. Sang-yi was able to turn the situation around so dramatically. That's right, Film Queen now has another title. She can be called the Ice Queen of the Waters. Sure enough, after half an hour of tense and exciting water searching, the winner was undeniably Lee Sang-yi, who had the water finding tool and discovered the first clean water source. At this moment, everyone gathered in front of the waterfall. Yao Xiao, unable to hold it in, shouted, "This feels so good." Bu Ling, on the other hand, felt like she was dying from the heat at the beach. She didn't expect it to be so cool here. Suddenly, Taehyung noticed something near the waterfall. Before he could call anyone over, MC Tae grabbed the microphone to announce. Player Taehyung seems to have seen something right. It was the shower room that the production team had generously prepared for the guests. Of course, it had a separate waste drainage system, so it wouldn't pollute the natural water source. Don't worry, environmentalists, it's all taken care of. Yao Xiao immediately gasped, "This is amazing. Finally, I can take a shower. I couldn't yesterday, and it was so uncomfortable." Then the host Tae continued over the loudspeaker. "Now please invite Lee Sang-yi to walk along the wooden floor. This is the refreshing prize that the show team has prepared for the winner." A high-end air-jetted hot tub appeared alongside a swimming pool next to a cherry blossom tree. There were also plenty of fruits and strong liquor available to enjoy. Unable to hold back, Yao Xiao couldn't help but exclaim again, "This is so wonderful." While enjoying the hydrotherapy massage, sipping on chilled fruit drinks, and taking in the beautiful waterfall scenery, with birds chirping and flowers blooming around. "Oh, I'm so jealous. Wow, I want that too." Next, the host said, "Please, Lee Sang-yi, choose a male guest to share the prize with." Yao Xiao immediately thought to himself, of course, Lee Sang-yi will choose Su Yitchin. Su Yitchin, for his part, was also certain that no man in the room was more suited to Lee Sang-yi than he was. "You're with Film Queen, and I'm the top star, perfect in every way. The highest traffic, the most advertising contracts, and the biggest fan base. My value alone is over 500 million yuan. If pairing up with me could double our traffic, dominating the top 10 hot searches would be a piece of cake." Park Tae-jun, standing next to him, quietly murmured two words, "Pick me, pick me." But surprisingly, it seemed like there was nothing surprising about it. The person Lee Sang-yi chose, of course, was Taehyung. This situation left everyone speechless, unsure of what was happening. The most shocked person was Su Yitchin. He couldn't understand why Lee Sang-yi would pick someone as ordinary and insignificant as Taehyung. At that moment, the online community exploded with comments. Sang-yi must have lost so much traffic this time. Can't even imagine. Looks, talent, money, and fame. Su Yitchin has it all over Taehyung. Why did he choose Su Yitchin? Totally unexpected. I thought Sang-yi would pick Su Yitchin. You want to create a buzz, but at least be tactful. Lee Sang-yi is no match for my Ji-chen. Yeah, you dumb fans. Everything you say is right. Seeing things spiral further, MC Tae quickly grabbed the mic and made an announcement, asking the remaining 4 guests to return to the beach. "Let's give Lee Sang-yi and Taehyung some private space." Su Yitchin muttered, his frustration boiling over as he cursed under his breath. What a jerk. "Lee Sang-yi, how could you not choose me? Do you even realize what you missed out on? I could have doubled my fame and views, but you just cut me off so abruptly." Meanwhile, Park Tae-jun was starting to question his life choices. He thought Sang-yi is definitely a woman with vision. She invited Taehyung because he was the one who invited her first. Honestly, I'm not jealous at all. Surprisingly, Su Yitchin bought into Park Tae-jun's self-reassurance. So that's how it is. Looks like she's got her own plan for her fame. She can't let her fans think she's ungrateful. But once this favor is done, I'll consider it settled. After this, Sang-yi will obviously choose me. I'm the one with the most views according to the unwritten agreement. That's the outcome the show and all the online fans want to see. After a while, as Taehyung gazed at the surroundings, he commented, "The show really did put the bathtub under this tree on purpose. It's so romantic." After seeing Taehyung's perfect physique, people online immediately started praising his abs. Truly stunning, it's unbelievable. For a college student to have a body like this, it's just too perfect. Taehyung is so handsome. Suddenly, a voice called out from behind, "Taehyung." He turned around and immediately saw Lee Sang-yi. She was wearing a seductive yellow swimsuit, paired with accessories that highlighted her flawless figure. The online community went wild, flooding the comments with praise. Sang-yi is definitely the most beautiful to me. Not only is she rich, but she's also generous. I can't control myself anymore. Sang-yi, do you know how many future warriors you've ruined? After that, the two of them headed to the pool together. To avoid suspicion, Taehyung immediately complimented Lee Sang-yi with a line that sounded like a false truth. Getting to see this beautiful and alluring side of Sang-yi makes joining the show totally worth it. Lee Sang-yi, upon hearing this, quickly responded with a false truth of her own. I didn't expect the show to have so many water activities. I only brought 2 swimsuits with me, but deep down she was thinking that she had actually packed quite a few. Just in case the show wanted her to be alone with another male guest, she'd switch to the most modest one she had. Once they had settled into position, the two of them began a very false, truth-like performance. Thank you for choosing me to experience this reward with you. I should be the one thanking you for cheering me on. At that point, not just others, even I wanted to give up. Well, there's no need to thank me. My gut told me you were going to win, so I just casually said a few encouraging words. After hearing this, Lee Sang-yi's face immediately turned bright red. She thought to herself, Taehyung is always like this, so confident, so unconditionally trusting in me. No one understands me like he does. As a result, her favorite level increased by 2%. Lee Sang-yi's current favorite level was now 92%. Suddenly, a bunch of bubbles appeared under Lee Sang-yi's body. Realizing it, she giggled and confirmed, "This is the first time I've taken a bubble bath. There are so many bubbles. It would be such a waste if we didn't have a foam fight." After saying that, Sang-yi immediately jumped to her feet, raised her hand, and splashed water straight into Taehyung's face, turning him into a lifeless snowman. Lee Sang-yi laughed loudly, like a child experiencing something for the first time. Taehyung, however, wasn't the type to be easily bullied. He quickly retaliated by splashing water back into Lee Sang-yi's face and showed off his legendary water splashing technique. Lee Sang-yi could only groan in delight. After the battle ended, Lee Sang-yi's face was covered in snow foam. Since some foam had even gotten into her mouth, she instinctively stuck out her tongue. Unintentionally, this moment was captured on camera, causing the guys to rush to the bathroom, paper in hand. MC CL Bai, witnessing the scene, found it too romantic. She even thought she was imagining things because it seemed like they were too affectionate. Meanwhile, the wealthy woman Run Ji was still watching Yitchin with admiration, mumbling to herself, "Yitchin is so cool." Outside, the two girls were clearly uncomfortable, complaining, "It's so hot I'm dying. How is it possible to sit in the shade and still not feel any cool breeze? Even the wind feels hot. I'm so jealous." Sang Yi is drinking water and eating chilled fruit in the bathtub. Hoo-hoo. Seeing this, Su Yitchin immediately flaunted his stick-thin body. "Are you all struggling to handle the heat? Don't worry, I've got this. The water around here is very clean, and it's the season for oysters and fatty sea urchins. Taehyung managed to catch some earlier, so catching a few dozen more should be easy. I'll go with Jun and catch some for us." With that, he thought to himself, I heard Taehyung has been showing off his body and getting a lot of support. It's so funny. Does he really think he can compare to me? Park Jun also spoke up to confirm, "That's right, I'm the best swimmer. My friends call me the king of the sea. I've been swimming for years, which is why my shoulders are so broad. If Ji Chen and I go into the water to catch seafood, we'll definitely come back with a full haul. You two ladies just wait for us on the shore." The two girls immediately exclaimed, "That's amazing, Ji Chen, you're so great. You know everything, you're so impressive. Taehyung caught so much food yesterday, and now we're going to have another feast." The scene then shifted to the ocean floor. At this moment, Park Jun and Shu Yitchin were showing off their swimming skills. On the screen, comments kept flooding in. Ji Chen is so handsome, and his figure is amazing. Do you want to have his kids or something? Aren't these idiots really this dumb? Is this what you call a great body? It's nowhere near as good as Taehyung's. I love this lean, muscular look. This is the perfect body type. This guy will harvest more in a few minutes than Taehyung ever could. Ha ha ha. Why do I feel like this isn't trustworthy? Oysters and sea snails are usually found at depths of 7 to 10 meters underwater. Taehyung really does have the skills, but I'm not sure if these two can do it. So the online community split into two sides, and the battle was fierce. Hope your whole family dies. I'm reporting you to get your account banned. Let's see how much you weigh. You're ugly, yet you still try to show off. Damn. If you're so good, come over here. An hour later, the scene shifted. A pot of seafood soup was placed on the table. As soon as it appeared, the online crowd started commenting wildly. Holy shit. What the hell am I looking at? Is this dish made in the style of Park Jun? Ha ha ha. Where are the oysters? What about the sea urchins? Did I hear something wrong just now? That guy's boasting again, talking about himself and his own face. The two girls looked at the pot of food releasing a dark aura, and they broke out in cold sweat. Yet, Su Yichin still confidently thought the two girls were moved by it. He then spoke up to confirm, We, along with Taehyung, think eating raw sea urchin and oysters isn't very hygienic, so we made this seafood hot pot instead. It looks dark, but it's actually really tasty. After saying that, he gritted his teeth, thinking to himself, there's no way to dive deep into the sea and find sea urchins with just my bare hands. I could only bring back these small ones. What did that guy, Taehyung, even do? But wanting to please the two guys, the girls awkwardly complimented, this smells really good, and it even tastes better than the oysters and sea urchins. They said it to be polite, but in their minds, they were secretly wondering, is this even safe to eat? It's so hot. Who wants to drink hot soup right now? Just as they were unsure of what to do, MC High suddenly spoke into the microphone. It's now 5:30 p.m. Time for dinner. The guests can now go to the food bin to grab their dry rations, making sure not to waste a single second. The two girls immediately sprang to their feet and ran off like chickens. They kept shouting loudly, oh my gosh, we've been moving so much today, I'm starving. I feel like I'm going to die of hunger. Let's eat already. The scene left the two guys speechless, not knowing what to say next. Then the host High announced the results for the second day's support ratings. Yitchin dropped from 95% to 89%. The online community couldn't help but laugh. This is the first time I've seen his body. He's perfect. I love him. Yitchin couldn't even catch a sea urchin. Ha ha ha. Park Taehyung dropped from 70% to 65%. Thank you, boasting guy, for giving me a good laugh. I already hit dislike. Taehyung next time, don't team up with Yitchin. He'll drag you down. Taehyung went from 19% to 30%. Even though Taehyung is just a bystander, I don't know why, but he gives me the feeling that he's paired with the film queen. It's only because Yitchin was there to set the stage that I realized just how impressive Taehyung actually is. On the women's team side, Lee Sang-yee's support rate rose from 90% to 95%. Her beauty and skills made her the shining star, while Bu Ling's rate dropped from 80% to 78%. Yao Xiao's support went up from 70% to 77%. After seeing the results, a brand new iPad shattered. The wealthy woman Run Ji was furious and cursed. Damn, why did Yitchin, who clearly took off his shirt to show off his perfect body, still see his fan count go up, yet his support rate dropped so much? Host Seo Bai thought it was because that body made many people hit the dislike button. Meanwhile, Host Ahai believed it was because they couldn't catch any sea urchins. However, when Run Ji shot them a glare, Dahai quickly trying to defend his point. It's probably because Yitchin was unlucky when he went into the sea and didn't find any sea urchins. Otherwise, it would have been easy. If that had happened, Yitchin's support rate would be even higher. Right? Exactly, Run Ji agreed. But she really didn't care about the explanation. She immediately collapsed to the ground, flailing around like a chicken. The two hosts were constantly urging for a solution right away. Since they had already been paid, they had no choice but to follow the wealthy woman's wishes. Immediately, one of them spoke up. Hold on, Miss Runji. Please don't worry. Our production team has everything under control. Tomorrow is the male guest competition. We'll make sure if Yitchin truly shines, he'll definitely score the highest and overshadow everyone else. The wealthy woman nodded, her face showing satisfaction. Okay, that's acceptable. If you do well, I'll reward each of you with 100,000 yuan. Tomorrow's competition must absolutely make Yitchin the center of attention. Make sure he gets the best footage. The scene shifted to the next morning. At 7 a.m., MC Dahai announced over the loudspeaker, the third day of the Island Idol program is starting. The third survival rule is called shelter. After securing food and water, the next issue is where to sleep to protect yourself from the scorching sun, storms, heat shock, and other harsh natural conditions. A fully functional shelter is crucial. Therefore, today's competition is about building a shelter. The team that creates the best shelter will win. Everyone should pay attention. If a team means you need a companion to help build the shelter, finding a good match will double the effectiveness. The winner can bring a female guest and enjoy a night in a luxurious, soundproof wooden cabin. The cabin is equipped with air conditioning, a large, soft, comfortable bed, a fridge stocked with food and fruit, and a bar with a variety of alcoholic drinks. The large bathtub is filled with bath salts and scents. On this hunger-stricken island, it's almost like experiencing paradise. Now, the 3 male guests should compete to determine the winner. The fastest one gets the privilege of choosing their preferred companion. But this isn't a typical race. It's a test of heartbeats on a balance beam. Upon hearing this, netizens exploded with comments. So this is about the male and female guests getting close to each other. This is getting too exciting. I love watching this kind of tension. Suddenly feeling jealous of the male guests, getting close to Sang-yi. This is just too great. When the MC announced that he was the first, Yitchin confidently stepped forward, not forgetting to tease Taehyung with a playful look back. Let me remind you of one thing. Don't rush and push the female guest into the water just because you're moving too fast. After all, the Island Idol show is a variety program that values fame above all else. Park Tae-joon immediately added, on the first day, you were faster than him, but that was just luck. The balance beam focuses on balance, and you don't stand a chance. Taehyung quickly retorted, I think my balance is pretty good. Park Tae-joon stubbornly refused to listen and said, Soo Yitchin won the balance beam championship at the Madu Art Academy gymnastics competition. On their side, the wealthy lady Run-ji seemed pleased. Looks like you've done your homework. He knew that Ji-chen won the balance beam championship when he was in college. Later, I'll get to watch Ji-chen's elegant performance on the balance beam. He could win the championship and gain a huge following. It's a perfect deal. Once he succeeds, I'll immediately reward each of you with 100,000 yuan. After a moment of taunting, Park Tae-joon finally told Taehyung the truth. Actually, this round is to test how much the female guests like the male guests. You're just an ordinary person, so they won't cooperate with you. It would be wise for you to handle things on your own. As soon as the host Tae gave the signal, Soo Yitchin immediately started the music and showed off his skills. After a smooth and agile flip, he appeared in front of Buling with perfect professionalism. The online community immediately exploded with comments. Wow, Ji-chen's legs almost killed me. Whoa, he's so handsome. How can there be a man so good-looking in this world? I would spend all my savings just to meet Ji-chen once. Then, Soo Yitchin took advantage of the moment, pulling Buling into his arms and whispering, Trust me, I won't let you fall into the water again. But Buling wasn't the type of girl to just stay innocent. She immediately used her curves to try to seduce Soo Yitchin, but he didn't seem to care at all. His hands stayed loose, almost as if he was holding a piece of wood. This scene led everyone to consider Soo Yitchin as a true gentleman. No wonder he's Ji-chen. His behavior showed restraint and politeness, never using his palm to touch a girl's body, only his wrist to support her. He's so graceful, someone remarked. At that moment, the host Tae also spoke up on the microphone, praising. That was so fast. In the blink of an eye, Soo Yitchin had used his quickest and most graceful speed to pass the two girls. Seeing everything was going according to plan, he immediately rushed over to wrap his arms around Lee Sang-yi, whispering nonstop, Leave it to me. I won't let you fall. But this time, netizens were in for a shock. Now I seen things. Did Soo Yitchin stop using his gentleman's hands? This bold move was too obvious. It was clear that Soo Yitchin had feelings for Lee Sang-yi. Such a good-looking couple. They're meant to be together. Exactly. How could an ordinary guy be good enough for Lee Sang-yi? At that moment, Soo Yitchin felt very confident. He thought to himself, even if he couldn't see the screen, he could already guess how crazy the comments were going to get. Although he didn't get the chance to show off 2 days ago, today was enough to skyrocket his popularity. But then, Soo Yitchin suddenly noticed something was off. Netizens soon picked up on the issue as well. It seems like Sang-yi is resisting Soo Yitchin. Ha ha ha! The people in front want to pair Soo Yitchin with him. But have they even asked Sang-yi what he thinks? They're just talking nonsense. Does Lee Sang-yi really deserve to be with someone like Ji-chen? Not wanting to lose face, Soo Yitchin quickly demanded, Don't resist like that. If you don't cooperate, you'll fall right into the water. As soon as he finished speaking, Soo Yitchin immediately reached down and grabbed Lee Sang-yi's backside. He thought that at least pretending to accidentally touch him would help build some kind of bond between them. But before he could even finish processing the thought, Lee Sang-yi swiftly kicked Soo Yitchin in the danger zone. Soo Yitchin's face turned green, and there was something oddly bulging in his neck like a marble. In the shaky, drenched state of embarrassment that followed, Lee Sang-yi made sure to jump straight into the water to protect himself. However, wanting to maintain his image in front of the public, Soo Yitchin still trying to play the role of the good guy, asking Lee Sang-yi if he was okay. It's all my fault for being careless and causing you to fall into the water. He said that, but inside, Soo Yitchin was seething with anger. He thought to himself, this little brat dares to embarrass me in front of the camera. Clearly, only someone as perfect as me deserves to have a chance with her, yet she couldn't even grab it. But Lee Sang-yi wasn't the type to back down. Even in a tough situation, he smiled and responded, It's fine. Come on, hurry and cross the bridge. The online community began buzzing. Did Sang-yi just need Soo Ji-chen in the head? My wife Sang-yi is amazing. No one is allowed to touch or understand. Why pretend to be so noble? Trying to create an image in front of Ji-chen? Who are you pretending to be delicate for? Buling and Yao Xiao were much more chill. Then MC Tae loudly announced, Soo Yitchin has safely crossed the narrow bridge. The whole process took 15 seconds. This is incredibly fast. Next up was Park Tae-joon ready to begin. At this moment, Park Tae-jun was full of confidence, thinking, I've figured out the flaw in this game. As long as the male guest doesn't fall, it doesn't matter if the female guest does. That makes it simple. With that thought, he charged forward like a crazy bull. After Buling and Yao Shao fell into the water and faced Sang Yi, even though Park Tae-jun wanted to stick close to her for a bit, he hesitated for a moment. In the end, he chose to knock Lee Sang-yi into the water to save time. What was even more surprising was that before Park Tae-jun could even touch Lee Sang-yi, she fell into the water on her own to protect herself. At that point, MC Dahai also announced that Park Tae-jun had safely crossed the balancing beam, completing the entire process in 12 seconds, which was even faster than Su Yitchin. Unable to hold back, Buling shouted, "Are you sick or something? Falling into the water hurts. Don't you know that? Is winning really worth everything? I don't acknowledge your achievement." Online users quickly joined in, commenting excitedly. That was a great insult. Here comes Buling. Buling never lets herself be put down. Haha, Buling once had a record of arguing with Antis for half an hour during a live stream. But Park Tae-jun didn't take Buling's words seriously at all. He just laughed awkwardly and said, "Sorry, I didn't mean to. The rules didn't say you could make the female guest fall into the water, right? Isn't that right, Ji-chen?" Ji-chen clearly wasn't careful, but you did it on purpose, she said. Well, that's just your subjective judgment. As long as the production team acknowledges my achievement, that's all that matters, he replied. As soon as he finished speaking, MC Dahai had to make an announcement. After discussing it, the production team has unanimously agreed that Park Tae-jun has violated the rules. His results will be cancelled immediately. This left Park Tae-jun speechless, silently cursing under his breath. Then, MC Dahai made another announcement. To prevent any female guest from falling into the water and getting hurt, we are adding a new rule. If a female guest falls into the water, an additional 5 seconds will be added to the time. All male guests, please pay attention. MC Xiao Bai, upon hearing this, also confirmed that the new rule was reasonable. This is to protect our female guests. When a man's competitive spirit kicks in, it's easy to unintentionally hurt those around him. After turning off the mic, the two hosts turned to ask the wealthy lady, Runji, "Are you satisfied with this?" Runji praised their quick thinking. "I'm very satisfied. This time, Ji-chen will definitely be the champion." Outside the narrow bridge, after hearing the new rule, it seemed like they were trying to make things harder for Taehyung. Sang-yi immediately spoke up to object. "This rule is unfair." Buling, on the other hand, thought the rule made perfect sense. Yao Shao, who had fallen and hurt her backside, now had a red mark on her body, so she agreed with the rule, even though it seemed unreasonable. Then the host Dahai called out, "Taehyung, get ready." At that moment, Su Yitchin saw an opportunity to taunt Taehyung. "You're just a passerby. You're really taking up too much spotlight. You need to know your place." Taehyung, not one to back down, immediately retorted, "Didn't you already get enough attention with those 2 pots on your chest? Who could possibly compete with you for the spotlight?" Though Su Yitchin was furious, he pretended to stay calm and wished Taehyung good luck. "I hope you can laugh all the way to the end." Inside, Su Yitchin reassured himself. Why bother with a fly that's already bound to lose? This was the perfect time to start planning. He thought about what would happen when he teamed up with Sang-yi to create a hideout, and what kind of interactions could spark the biggest explosion in the chat screen. Seeing Su Yitchin mumbling to himself, the host, Dahai, assumed that Su Yitchin was talking to the camera. Probably just some pre-game flirting, he said. They say that a man remains a boy until the day he dies, and it turns out Ji-chen has a surprisingly cute side to him. Meanwhile, wealthy lady Run-ji was feeling incredibly confident that Su Yitchin would win. Some random passerby has no right to make Ji-chen angry. Ji-chen was just kindly warning him to be careful. "Come on, let's wrap up this competition. The camera's on him. I just want to get this over with." On the other side, Taehyung had his own plan. He thought that if he just jumped over the gap between the 3 of them, he could finish the challenge. As soon as the signal to start went off, Taehyung pushed off with his legs and leaped over, heading straight for Buling. But with too much force, the landing caused a massive shake on the wooden bridge, making it tremble violently. Buling nearly lost her balance and almost fell into the water. However, Taehyung, with his quick reflexes, managed to grab her tiny waist just in time and pulled her in his arms, creating a scene that was both dramatic and romantic. The online community immediately started buzzing with excitement. "Whoa, that's like the classic twirl from romantic dramas. So beautiful. I'm swooning." Suddenly, everyone noticed that Buling and Taehyung actually looked like a couple. "Oh my god, so jealous," one person exclaimed. "You're hugging Buling with both arms. It must feel amazing, right?" Another person added. "No way," came the sharp reply. "How can he just leap over a grown woman like that? Is he a professional athlete or something?" This situation made Su Yitchin extremely uncomfortable. Gritting his teeth, he muttered to himself, "Damn, even if I lose, he still has to steal my spotlight." On Buling's side, still in shock, she immediately screamed, "I'm feeling dizzy. Please don't let go of me." Taehyung, his face cold as ice, thought to himself, "If it weren't for the fact that if she falls it would waste my time, I wouldn't even bother saving her. But now, helping her down safely will take a lot of time, so I guess I have no choice but to do this." With that thought, Taehyung turned and moved forward. Yao Xiao, sensing something was off, shouted, "Don't come over here." But before she could finish, Taehyung swiftly grabbed her tiny waist and continued moving forward. The scene made Su Yitchin and Park Tae-jun so furious that their eyes almost popped out. They couldn't stop yelling, "No way, young man." But Taehyung didn't care at all. His mind kept racing. "As long as I maintain the spin, being the center of the rotation will keep everything stable." Once that thought crossed his mind, Taehyung immediately turned his head toward Lee Sang-yi and shouted, "Sang-yi, hurry up and jump onto me." Lee Sang-yi had been waiting for that exact moment. Without hesitation, she leaped toward Taehyung, her face full of excitement and anticipation. When the trio was finally in position, Taehyung wasted no time. He spun with all of his strength and headed straight toward the finish line. The scene left Su Yitchin and Park Tae-jun speechless. But the most shocked of all was the wealthy woman Run Ji. She never imagined that Taehyung could disrupt the perfect plan she had so carefully crafted. Continuing from where things left off, after securing the 3-win in place, Taehyung spun his body again and charged straight toward the finish line. The sound of a loud bell echoed, signaling that Taehyung had completed his challenge in 9 seconds. At that moment, MC Tae confirmed that the first place belonged to Taehyung. The online community erupted with comments. Some were praising how handsome Taehyung looked. Some people were wondering if this was something humans were truly capable of. But no one noticed the two girls, terrified, collapsing at Taehyung's feet. MC Tae continued to announce through the speaker, "Please, male guests, choose your preferred partner in order." And as expected, Taehyung chose Lee Sang-yi, Su Yitchin chose Buling, and Park Tae-jun chose Yao Xiao. MC Tae continued with the announcement, instructing the guests to go to the toolboxes in front to gather their supplies, then begin building their shelters. The time limit was set to 3 hours. Remember, the winner is the one who builds the best shelter. And the winner would be allowed to choose any female guest to stay in the finely crafted wooden house they had just built. This rule meant that a female guest who worked hard to help a male guest build the shelter and win could still have her efforts taken away by another female guest who chose the male after the victory. Would the male guest stay loyal to his original partner, or would he change his mind and pick someone else? It was all too exciting. The scene switched to the forest. At this moment, Taehyung was swinging an axe, chopping down trees, while Lee Sang-yi was diligently carving small wooden pieces. Then the two continued to search for the vine. However, this vine seemed a bit thick and round, but they had no way of knowing that. From a distance, Su Yitchin watched their every move while silently cursing in his mind. Once again, this pesky fly kept stealing his camera's focus, constantly interacting with Sang-yi. Suddenly, Buling stepped over and asked, "Are you feeling unwell? Your expression looks really scary." Wanting to maintain a good image, Su Yitchin quickly responded, "I'm just planning to build a perfect shelter to win this competition so that we can enjoy a beautiful wooden house together later." Hearing that Su Yitchin wanted to choose her as his companion, Buling immediately blushed and confirmed, "I will definitely do my best." But in Su Yitchin's mind, a different thought was brewing. He silently reassured himself to stay calm. It was just a teammate after all. Someone as perfect as him could work with anything to create the best shelter. Tonight, Sang-yi would still sleep with him in the wooden house. 1 hour later. At that moment, Lee Sang-yi was still deeply focused on building the wooden house. Suddenly, she heard a noise. She turned around and saw Buling. Surprised, Buling asked, "Sang-yi, why are you here alone? Where's Taehyung?" Lee Sang-yi answered honestly, "He went to get some wood. But what happened to your leg? Didn't you go help Su Yitchin build the shelter?" Then Buling started to explain the whole story. "I twisted my ankle. But honestly, I feel like Su Yitchin isn't as perfect as people say online. At first, he told me he would definitely win this competition and then invite me to the wooden house for a wonderful night. I was so happy back then. But after he started building the shelter, he became a completely different person. His tone was so cold. He spoke to me like I was his subordinate, nitpicking everything I did. No matter what I tried, he was never satisfied. It made me feel completely useless. He even ordered me to go into the forest and chop wood. That's how I ended up injuring my leg. If I weren't worried about his crazy fans, I would have yelled at him right then and there." Just as Taehyung finished speaking, he walked over and called Buling. Are you here to spy or just gather information? Lee Sang-yi, feeling sorry for Bu Ling, offered his opinion. It's kind of odd that Su Yitchin would send a girl to collect heavy wood. Coincidentally, we have a lot of wood too. How about we give her some? Taehyung, hearing this, casually agreed, saying it was no problem, but Bu Ling immediately refused. Well, in my opinion, if I use wood collected by Taehyung, Yitchin, and the production team, won't be happy. This made Lee Sang-yi feel a bit uncomfortable, so he quickly asked, "What do you mean by that?" "I'm just stating the facts. If it wasn't for him constantly beating Yitchin, how could Yitchin end up like this? Clearly, the competition is all about things Yitchin is best at, but he's always the one who loses. So it's no wonder Yitchin is angry at me." Viewers online now had something new to discuss. Why is Bu Ling being so harsh? What does Yitchin have to do with this? She's always like this, not knowing how to speak properly or keep things smooth. Starting trouble with so many people like that, let's just see when she'll get knocked over. Unable to hold back, Lee Sang-yi immediately fired back. "How can you say that? We were just being kind." At that moment, Su Yitchin suddenly stepped up and asked Bu Ling, "What's wrong with your leg?" Bu Ling honestly confirmed, "My leg is twisted." Then the scene unfolded like something out of a romance drama. Su Yitchin serious said, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have let you go collect wood. From now on, you should rest. Just sit there and help me a bit." To everyone's surprise, Wu Ling believed him and immediately blushed, nervously asking, "Did you come to find me?" "So, you're not as bad as I thought." Seeing this, Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi didn't even know what to say. 3 hours later, MC Tae made an announcement. "Time's up. Even though it's not finished, we have to stop here. Let's start by watching Park Tae-jun and Yao Shou's team first." Unexpectedly, the two biggest and strongest looking people hadn't finished either. The level of coordination between them was basically zero. Online, people were already criticizing. Such a disaster. Haha, they can't even talk to each other. Yao Shao is still mad about being pushed into the water by Park Tae-jun, right? If it were me, I wouldn't cooperate with Park Tae-jun either. Even if we win, he'd still choose Sang-yi. Exactly, it's so obvious. Next up is the shelter built by Su Yitchin and Bu Ling. Oh, this shelter is perfect. They've used the slope and depressions in the terrain so well to solve the problem of support at the top. Inside, it's spacious and comfortable, enough for two people to lie down. There's no way there could be a better shelter than this. The online community continued to praise. Is Yitchin a hexagonal warrior? How does he know so much? Please, can I stay here for a night? I'll trade my beautiful wooden house for this. Yitchin is amazing, totally deserves first place. I don't even need to watch the last one. What kind of shelter could a college student possibly build? Now let's take a look at the shelter built by the last guest team. When everyone saw Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi's wooden house, they all just stood there, mouths open for 5 seconds. They couldn't believe that such a house could be built in just 3 short hours. How could Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi possibly build a 5-star wooden house? No way. Is this something the two of them could actually do in just 3 hours? The stairs, if you step on them, oh my god, are they really not going to collapse? And the window, it can actually open and close. Wow, there's even a loft. This is the dream house that most girls can't resist. Netizens flooded the comments in shock. Is this really something humans can do? This is too unbelievable. The production team must have prepared everything in advance, right? I believe Taehyung has the skills for this, but who would dare to fake it so blatantly? So it must be real. I demand the full process of construction be released. No edits. There's barely any footage, and suddenly it built a villa. Is the production team cheating? At that moment, wealthy lady Runji also lost her cool and immediately turned to question them. What the heck is going on? A project this big and the process isn't shown. No one even notified us. What kind of work are you people doing? The two hosts awkwardly laughed and quickly apologized. We'll check the video right away. If Taehyung used any illegal methods, we will definitely revoke his eligibility. They said that out loud, but inside, the two hosts were extremely angry. The woman had already openly said that she didn't even want to watch Taehyung. It's best not to let him on screen, and now they're blaming us again. What a nasty old woman speaking without thinking. Soon after, a staff member rushed in to confirm that the footage had been investigated. There was a cameraman who had recorded the whole process of Taehyung's work. It was clear that he had done most of it by himself. When the video was shown, everything was laid out so clearly that everyone could only gasp in disbelief. Damn, is he an alien or something? Then MC Tae grabbed the microphone to confirm. We apologize to our viewers for the long wait. After the production team verified multiple times, it turns out that Taehyung really did build that treehouse with his own hands. So the winner of the shelter building challenge was Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi's team. Watching the two of them celebrate their victory, even though Yitchin was so angry that the veins in his eyes were visible, he still had to praise Taehyung to maintain his good image in front of the audience. This is impressive. I admit defeat. I'm completely convinced. Meanwhile, inside the room, Fu Ba Runji could only grit his teeth, silently cursing that bastard Taehyung, who kept stealing the spotlight from Yitchin. There was no way he would let him win so easily. Just wait. Taehyung, on the other hand, confidently announced, "Tonight, the person who will spend the night with me in this lovely wooden house is." Before he could finish his sentence, the host Dahai cut in over the microphone. "Sorry, Mr. Taehyung, but you can't choose Lee Sang-yi anymore. I know both of you truly deserve to be at the top of the rankings, but this is a reality dating show. We have to give other guests the chance to shine as well. We can't let you monopolize the screen like this. The audience wants to see how different pairings will create interesting dynamics. So, Mr. Taehyung, please choose one of the remaining 2 female guests." Though a bit displeased with the show's handling of things, Sang-yi didn't want to put Taehyung in an awkward position, so he quickly spoke up to confirm. "I'm fine, Taehyung. You can choose them. After all, this is just a variety show. They're doing this to get attention. That's why they're acting like that. As long as in the end we can hold hands and leave together, that's all that matters." Upon hearing this, Taehyung's face darkened and he replied, "All right." Then he pointed at Buling and confirmed, "I'll choose Buling." This situation put Buling on high alert. She wondered to herself, I was acting annoyed with him before, so why would he choose me? Is he the type of man who likes to conquer women? He's so annoying. Meanwhile, Yao Xiao felt something was off. In terms of looks or figure, is there anything about me that's worse than Buling? Why didn't he choose me? Su Yitchin and Park Ta-jun, on the other hand, gave a sly smile as if they were scheming something in their minds. Seeing that Buling still seemed confused about his choice, Taehyung quickly explained, "I chose you because your foot is injured, and you need a comfortable environment to rest and prevent it from getting worse." Upon hearing his explanation, Buling immediately blushed, thinking to herself, "So that's why. I was just thinking badly about him again. I really feel guilty now." But Taehyung also kind of understood the situation. From the way the production team has been acting these past few days, it's obvious that this whole show is designed just for Su Yitchin. Do they really think the audience is that stupid? I've won the championship time and time again, stealing the spotlight from Su Yitchin. The production team keeps changing the rules to help him, but in the end, they still haven't succeeded. If I'm right, they're probably planning something to bring me down. No phone, no contact with the outside world, stuck on this deserted island. The game is all about popularity, huh? It's turning out to be a lot more interesting than I thought. But it's fine. If they want to play, I'll make sure to play the game to the fullest. With that, Taehyung activated his level 18 power-up, switching the scene to the luxurious log cabin. As Buling was carried inside by Taehyung, she shouted out, "This is amazing. After 2 days in the temporary tents, today we finally get to live like normal people." Taehyung noticed the cameras installed all around the room. He quickly realized that even though Lee Sang-yi was with him, there was nothing they could do. Once they sat down on the bed, Buling spoke again. "Thank you for carrying me over here. I feel so embarrassed. About earlier, I know I said some harsh things, but please don't take them to heart." Taehyung smiled and reassured her. "It's fine. Well then, you should rest. I'll sleep on the sofa." After saying that, he quietly thought to himself, Buling may easily upset others, but she's also quite straightforward with no hidden agenda. She's easily influenced by others' opinions. 15 minutes later, as Taehyung was getting the blankets ready to sleep, Buling suddenly walked in wearing a bathrobe and called out to him. "I think the hot bath made my legs even more swollen." After a moment of observation, Taehyung spoke up. "Leaving your legs like that for too long isn't good." Buling looked at him, her eyes lighting up. "Actually, I know a bit about traditional Chinese massage. Would you like me to help massage your legs?" After Buling agreed, Taehyung immediately sat down on a chair and began to demonstrate his technique. The atmosphere began to feel a bit more intimate. The scene was quiet except for Taehyung's voice. "Fortunately, it's not a serious sprain. It'll feel a bit sore when I massage it. Just bear with it for a bit." As soon as he finished speaking, Taehyung immediately activated his expertise in traditional medicine. Then his hands gently glided over Buling's foot. Hearing Buling let out a soft sound, Taehyung quickly asked, "Did I apply too much pressure?" When Buling replied that it wasn't that, just a little surprised, Taehyung continued with his work. With every touch, Buling felt an intense, almost overwhelming pleasure. In her mind, she couldn't stop wondering, is this what a massage is like? She felt both sore and numb, but her ankle didn't hurt anymore. However, the next moment, Buling suddenly lay flat on the bed, her mouth making noises that could easily be misunderstood. The online viewers watching the scene couldn't help but think of certain scenes from Japanese movies. Immediately, the comments flooded the screen. Wow, what kind of godly technique is this? Coach Kim, I want to learn this. She's just getting a foot massage. Why is she acting like that? That's one way to catch people's attention. Thanks to Taehyung for sponsoring the show. MC Dahai suddenly shouted. What? In just 2 short minutes, the number of viewers has skyrocketed. But then, Bu Ling suddenly realized something felt off. She quickly sat up, using the hem of her shirt to cover her sensitive areas. Taehyung didn't seem to care at all. His face remained serious as he continued massaging Bu Ling's legs. This scene left Bu Ling a little surprised, and she thought to herself, he's so focused on helping me with the massage. Why was I thinking weird thoughts? He looks so handsome when he's concentrating like that. Suddenly, Taehyung spoke up. All done. Rest well tonight. Don't push yourself too hard. You should feel much better tomorrow. Hearing this, Bu Ling sighed and said helplessly, the competition tomorrow is probably hopeless now, but still, thank you. She paused for a moment, then continued. But this bed is still so big. And clearly, you won the cabin. I feel bad letting you sleep on the sofa, or maybe. Before Bu Ling could finish her sentence, Taehyung lay down comfortably on the bed and said, well, if you want to sleep on the sofa, there's nothing I can do about it. But if you need help getting up in the middle of the night, just call me and I'll help you. The comment made Bu Ling extremely upset. She immediately shouted, I don't have kidney failure. Okay. Then MC Dahai took the microphone and made an announcement. The support percentages for the 3rd day were out. Taehyung's support surged to 70%, while Xu Yitchin's dropped from 89% to 84%. As for Park Tae-jun, his support fell from 65% to 58%. Netizens quickly jumped into heated discussions. Too bad for Xu Yitchin. He seems pretty talented, but he's facing a tough competitor like Taehyung. Taehyung is really amazing. The program team should give him more screen time. Stop always focusing on that clown who loves showing off. Exactly. How dare they talk bad about our Xu Yitchin? It's so funny. Take a look at yourself first. Are you even worthy? As for Xu Yitchin, the program team practically worships him. Isn't it because he can't get anything right? And as for Bu Ling, why is she suddenly so obsessed with some random guy? I've already unfollowed Bu Ling. Here's the support rate for the female team. Sang Yi's support increased from 95% to 96%. Bu Ling dropped from 78% to 72%. Yao Xiao stayed the same at 77%. It seems like people on the women's team aren't paying as much attention. I want to see Yao Xiao's legs, and I want to see Yitchin and Sang Yi in the same team. The visuals will definitely be amazing. Yes, this is the true couple of the stars. Sang Yi barely got any screen time today. Clearly, Sang Yi could have slept in the cabin, but the production team is really making things hard for her. Behind the scenes, wealthy lady Runji was fuming, swearing under her breath. Bunch of idiots. Have you guys come up with a plan yet? Yitchin wants to interact with Sang Yi. If this news gets out, it'll make a huge splash. Tomorrow, we absolutely need to make sure Yitchin succeeds. MC Dahai and Xiao Bai exchanged a wicked grin after hearing this and confirmed, we've come up with a perfect plan. Tomorrow's horse riding competition will definitely allow Li Sang Yi and Yitchin to team up and dance across the prairie together. The scene shifted to the next morning. The 6 contestants were now gathered in front of the beach, waiting for the announcement. MC Dahai grabbed the mic and said, let's start the next round of the Dating with Idols on a deserted island show. It's time for the female guest's turn again. Today's challenge will be a horse race. Each female guest will choose a male guest to team up with. But what if some male guests are really popular and the women start competing for them? What should we do then? Well, in that case, the power to choose will shift to the male guests. The one who is most liked by the women will have the right to pick one of the 3 female guests to team up with. Upon hearing this, the online community exploded with comments. They must have set up this challenge because they were worried Bu Ling might hurt her ankle. The production team is so thoughtful. Well, obviously Yitchin is the most popular. Who wouldn't want to team up with him? Who will he choose? Everyone would pick Sang Yi. Is Li Sang Yi made of gold or something? I'd rather see Sang Yi team up with Taehyung. That would be hilarious. Does Taehyung even have a say here? Behind the scenes, MC Dahai and MC Xiao Bai kept asking for opinions from the wealthy lady. From the very beginning, when the guests were confirmed, Bu Ling and Yao Xiao made it clear they were fans of Yitchin, so it's certain they'll choose him. With that, the ball will be in Yitchin's court. What do you think, boss? Madame Runji nodded with a pleased expression upon hearing the suggestion. This should have been done a long time ago. Li Sang Yi's involvement can really help elevate Yitchin's public image and popularity. Their collaboration will definitely bring positive results. She continued thinking to herself, If this opportunity is used wisely, Yitchin's reputation will soar to new heights. And when that time comes, I believe he won't forget those who supported him. Meanwhile, host Taehyung announced, now we invite the female guests to choose the male guest they would most like to collaborate with. Without hesitation, 3 of the female guests stepped forward. Seeing this, Yitchin also extended her hand, quietly thinking, Sang Yi, it feels like we finally have the chance to truly connect. These shared moments, they're just for us. Online viewers also seemed to reach a consensus. Most believed Yitchin would be the top choice. He had already earned the title of fan favorite in this competition. But Lee Sang-yi had only one person on her mind, Taehyung. Meanwhile, Park Tae-jun felt the format of the show was a little harsh. Even if Sang-yi chose him, there was a chance Yitchin might still step in and change everything. And then, something completely unexpected happened. All they heard was Ling's voice calling Taehyung and then asking, please, cooperate with me. Before anyone could even react, Sang-yi spoke up, I'll choose Taehyung too. The situation left everyone speechless, mouths wide open, and they couldn't help but mutter, what the hell? The online crowd wasn't much different. The comments immediately exploded. No way, this can't be happening. Has Ling lost it? Why didn't she choose Yitchin? Yesterday, she was as happy as if she won a few million when she was teamed up with Yitchin. Others couldn't stop laughing at the twist. The tables have turned. Ha, this is too good. Look at Yitchin's face. The clown, he's killing me. Ha ha ha. MC Taehyung, sweating nervously, stammered. Hold on. Our guest Ling must have bad eyesight and forgot to put in her contacts. She must have gone to the wrong place, right? But the online crowd quickly dismissed that. MC, did you forget to wear your hearing aid? Ling said Taehyung. Looks like there's no script here. Ha ha ha. Ling choosing Taehyung is really unexpected. But MC Taehyung stubbornly asked Ling. Yitchin is right there. Ling, take a good look. Ling immediately shouted, the person I've chosen is definitely Taehyung. Last night, he massaged my sprained ankle, and today it's completely healed. He's truly a legendary massage master. Plus, his hands seem to have some kind of magic. The blood circulation really improved. Last night, my whole body felt so warm. She said this, but MC Taehyung still stubbornly tried to convince her. But right now, you're supposed to choose the male guest you feel the most positive about, based purely on your personal feelings. If you're choosing Taehyung out of gratitude, that might not be the best choice. Those words couldn't break through Ling's defense. She firmly replied, this is my personal feeling. Right now, I like Taehyung. So what? If I choose him, is there a problem? With no other option, MC Taehyung could only helplessly respond. No problem. Then Taehyung, you're currently the most popular male guest. You can now choose a female guest you'd like to collaborate with. And of course, the person Taehyung chose was Lee Sang-yi. But when Taehyung confirmed his choice, it was Sang-yi. Ling cheerfully said, it's okay, I knew this from the start. With no other choice, Yitchin reluctantly confirmed, the person I choose is Yao Xiao. As a result, Ling joined Park Tae-jun's team. However, when everything seemed to be settled, the MCs didn't announce anything further, leaving the 6 players confused, unsure of what to do next. It turned out that behind the scenes, the wealthy woman Runji was screaming and throwing a fit, demanding that Ling pay the price. The 2 MCs could only helplessly try to calm her down, saying, please calm down. It's not worth getting this angry. Anger is bad for your health. Then they saw Runji, filled with rage, charge forward. She grabbed a photo of Ling and tore it to shreds. As she ripped it apart, she gritted her teeth and cursed, you shameless woman. You dared to embarrass Yitchin, making everyone think Yitchin lost to some random guy. Do you have any idea how much effort Yitchin put in to get to where he is today? Yitchin is the light of my life, and I swear you'll pay for this. The 2 MCs couldn't help but break into a cold sweat. But I still have to speak up and advise this woman to calm down. Actually, Yitchin and Yao Xiao would work better together. Both of them are tall and strong, which is a huge advantage in a horse race. Once they win, they can recover everything. However, the harm they caused to Yitchin has already been done. We absolutely cannot forgive them. After saying this, she turned to the bodyguards and ordered, no matter how much it costs, give me all the personal information on Ling and Taehyung, especially that guy Taehyung. Not only do I want their information, but I also want to ruin his life. Let him see the power of Run Jie. I want his last words before he dies to be regret for offending Yitchin. After a moment of handling things internally, MC Taehyung took the microphone and announced, the new female contestants must have finished putting on their outfits by now, right? The rules are simple. The goal is to use any means necessary to steal the opponent's hot ears and tail. Once the rules were clear, Taehyung immediately turned to Sang-yi and said, let's team up and win this match. Then Lee Sang-yi walked over and sat on Taehyung's shoulder. But this scene seemed to have something a bit exciting about it. Hearing Taehyung ask, "Are you sitting securely?" Lee Sang-yi could only blush and answer, "Yes, yes I am." The scene shifted to the competition field. By this point, all three teams were ready. Host Taehyung continued reminding everyone, a small note for the three teams: the male guests are not allowed to use their hands to help. They can only act as horses for the female guests to ride. Now the competition officially began. As soon as the words were out, Yao Xiao immediately rushed forward to gain the upper hand, her mouth never stopping. "Sorry, ladies, but this is my home turf now. If you're not getting on, I will." The first target she aimed for was Lee Sang-yi, but Lee Sang-yi wasn't someone who'd just give up easily. Immediately, she grabbed Yao Xiao's hands and locked them in place. Seeing an opportunity, Bu Ling didn't hesitate. She charged over and reached out to grab the tail pinned to Yao Xiao's back. But it seemed like Yao Xiao had already predicted this move. She quickly spun around and swatted Bu Ling's hand away. Not stopping there, Yao Xiao knocked Bu Ling's cat ears right off her head and sent them flying to the ground. At this moment, Yao Xiao was absolutely delighted, shouting, "You're really trying the same old trick again?" Bu Ling looked a little flustered, her mouth constantly stammering, My cat ears." Seeing an opportunity, Lee Sang-yi immediately rushed over, intending to grab Yao Xiao's cat ears. But Yao Xiao remained incredibly calm and swiftly pushed Lee Sang-yi's hand away. Then the two continued their intense struggle, but the real winner was Taehyung. No matter how fiercely the two women were fighting above, Taehyung, lying beneath, was crushed by the weight, his face turning red from the pain. At this point, netizens couldn't help but comment, "Ah, another day I'm jealous of Taehyung." Who said the main character of this show is Soo Yitchin? It's clearly Taehyung. Did he save the earth in his past life or something? Seeing the two facing off, Soo Yitchin couldn't help but laugh and then challenge, "Don't think you've won just because two women are choosing you. In the end, this is just a variety show. You came here as a loser and you'll leave as one too. You'll always be beneath me." As he spoke, Soo Yitchin stepped forcefully on Taehyung's foot. After being stomped on, Taehyung suddenly realized something. His legs had an issue, so that's what it was. A silicone foot cover, skin-colored. On top of that, sharp seashells were attached to the soles. Walking on the beach, there were practically no gaps. With these shoes, he could injure his opponent's foot with a simple step, and he could even claim the seashells on the beach accidentally cut them. No wonder before the competition started, he had spent half an hour in the restroom. The program team must have prepared this for him at the last minute. Just as that thought crossed his mind, Soo Yitchin spoke again. "Does it hurt? I don't just want you to lose. I want you to lose badly." But how could Taehyung let something like this trip him up? Taehyung immediately raised his foot, confirming, "Yes, I've disappointed you then." Then Taehyung silently thought, "With a whole titanium alloy arm, I can crush these tiny seashells. What's the big deal?" This surprised Soo Yitchin a bit, making him wonder why Taehyung's foot seemed unaffected. Before Soo Yitchin could finish his thoughts, Taehyung quickly threw Lee Sang-yi on his back and charged forward. Yao Xiao remained calm, waiting for Lee Sang-yi to come at her. She was confident there was no weak point in this challenge and thought everything was going according to plan. Maybe just a second later, Sang-yi would have lost his cat ears. But something unexpected happened. In the blink of an eye, Sang-yi quickly crouched down to dodge the grab. Before Yao Xiao could react, Lee Sang-yi grabbed the tail from Yao Xiao's back. Viewers online exploded with comments. "That was so cool. Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi's teamwork is perfect." In that moment, Taehyung had done everything. He had bent down just in time, allowing Lee Sang-yi to grab Yao Xiao's tail. After stealing Yao Xiao's tail, Taehyung immediately ran ahead to create some distance. Seeing that the situation was getting a bit difficult, Yao Xiao decided to deal with Bu Ling first. The next second, Yao Xiao appeared behind Bu Ling and without hesitation yanked her tail. After a loud "ah" echoed, the host Taehyung confirmed that Bu Ling had been eliminated. Seeing this, Lee Sang-yi happily said, "It looks like we have a chance to win now." Taehyung responded, "Winning is a given. The real question is how Soo Yitchin will lose." As soon as he finished speaking, Soo Yitchin appeared carrying Yao Xiao and rushing towards them. He planned to use the shell trick under his foot to sneak up on Taehyung again. But how could Taehyung fall for the same trick twice? Taehyung's foot moved quickly and skillfully. With a swift motion, he ripped through the clear rubber covering Soo Yitchin's foot. The shell beneath flew up, causing a few small cuts on Soo Yitchin's foot, along with his loud pain cry. The online community immediately exploded with comments. "Yitchin's hurt. Definitely because of Taehyung. Is he crazy? There are so many shells on the beach. Getting scratched is totally normal, right? A small cut and he's crying out. He's too old to be acting so weak. He should go to the hospital or the wound will heal and we won't be able to report it. No need to thank me. At that moment, Taehyung suddenly burst out laughing, then taunted, "Why did you stop, Yitchin? Is that all you've got? Want me to cheer you on? Loser's a dog, huh? Loser's a dog. Ha ha, ha ha." Hearing Taehyung's harsh taunt, Su Yitchin lost his composure. Yao Xiao, noticing this, immediately called out to him, "Stay calm. Don't fall for Taehyung's tricks. He try and provoke us, but we should stay calm and wait for the right moment." Before I could finish speaking, Su Yitchin suddenly shouted, "Shut up. I will definitely beat him." Su Yitchin's face looked like a mad dog, and it made people online flip out, cursing. Holy shit. Oh my god, this is terrifying. He looks horrible. Where's his control over his expressions? His image is ruined. Poor Yao Xiao. Of course, Taehyung couldn't miss this chance and kept taunting him. "Come on, try and catch me." As soon as Su Yitchin heard this, he impulsively sprang forward. But his emotions got the best of him, and he kicked off too hard, falling flat on his face. His head landed straight in the sand, and his legs flipped up into the air. Yao Xiao, still above him, also lost his balance and fell from the height. Luckily, Taehyung was quick to catch him. If not, Yao Xiao would have been injured by the sharp metal shell. At that moment, Yao Xiao realized who the real winner was. Blushing, he stood up and thanked Taehyung. Seeing Su Yitchin lying motionless on the ground, Taehyung rushed over to check on him and found out he was just really mad and had overexerted himself. But when they flipped him over, an incredibly unpleasant face immediately appeared. The online community exploded with comments. "Haha, I just realized Su Yitchin might be better at comedy than anything else. I support him switching to be a comedian. Where are the show staff? Someone call medical assistants. I've already called 120. If something happens to Su Yitchin, I want Taehyung to go with him." This is all Taehyung's fault. Yitchin fell on his own. What does that have to do with Taehyung? These fans are blind. Did Taehyung win? The scene shifts to a small yacht. At this moment, Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi are on board enjoying their prides. Noticing the atmosphere was a bit quiet, Lee Sang-yi started a conversation. "This yacht is beautiful. I didn't expect the prize this time would be diving, but I've never dived before, so I'm a little nervous." Taehyung, hearing this, reassured her. "Don't worry, my swimming skills are great. I'll protect you, so nothing will happen." Her face turned slightly red at his words. She thought to herself, "So, does that mean I'll be able to have some close contact with Taehyung later? All right, that sounds fun." But there were already so many cameras from the production team. Then 2 flying cameras appeared in the sky. There were also 2 on the boat and 2 more underwater, all waiting. After that, the 2 of them began their romantic diving adventure. As soon as Lee Sang-yi stepped into the water, she was completely shocked. She kept murmuring, "This is amazing." The netizens are saying the same thing. "It's so beautiful. Where is this? I have to visit it someday." Haha, Sang-yi is so cute. Overwhelmed by the beauty, she completely forgot her shyness. Fortunately, the production team had prepared an automatic snorkel to follow her. Then, Taehyung gently pulled Lee Sang-yi to even more beautiful spots. She felt like she was turning into a mermaid, although this mermaid seemed a little bigger and rounder. And of course, what had to happen happened. The writer couldn't let the dive end so peacefully. The next moment, a fish appeared beneath Lee Sang-yi. Looking closely, she realized it was a full-grown dolphin. Thinking it was friendly, she tried to reach out and pet it, but Taehyung immediately stopped her. He transformed into a teacher to further educate Lee Sang-yi, confirming that dolphins have another nickname, the Great Northern Tribes of the Sea. Just as Lee Sang-yi was starting to understand, the dolphin appeared from behind and nudged her in a sensitive area. Without wasting a second, Taehyung rushed in and kicked the dolphin in the head. The online community praised Taehyung for his quick action. "I'm jealous of the dolphin this time. Is this dolphin a pervert in disguise?" Realizing it couldn't compete with Taehyung, the dolphin resorted to dirty tricks and snatched Lee Sang-yi's snorkel. With a smug look on its face, it swam quickly back to the ocean. Without the snorkel, Lee Sang-yi started to lose her breath, her eyes wide with panic. Taehyung, seeing the situation, quickly appeared in front of her and gave her a kiss full of oxygen. Thanks to him, Lee Sang-yi narrowly avoided disaster. Yes, some online users thought Taehyung was taking advantage of Lee Sang-yi and commented, "Let go of Sang-yi," while others, more understanding, explained that Taehyung was actually saving her, calling out, "You idiot. Look at how beautiful this moment is." Isn't that the lead couple from the Idol drama? At the end of the day, host Tae also announced the current voting percentages. Su Yitchin dropped from 84% to 70%, Park Tae-ju dropped from 58% to 50%, while Taehyung rose from 70% to 85%. As a result, the online community went wild with comments. Perfect guy, he can do anything and still be amazing. Did Yitchin get voted off? Getting angry actually just gives him more charm. You know what I mean, right? Yitchin, I'll love you forever. Taehyung is my representative. Somebody slap that clown for me. I declare Taehyung is the real perfect one. Taehyung could be famous now. Ling and Taehyung must have had some sort of deal before this. She used to be Yitchin's real favorite, though. Yao Xiao looks so beautiful today, but it's a shame she doesn't have many scenes. Though it's a bit annoying, Sang-yi and Taehyung really do look like a couple. On the women's team side, Lee Sang-yi rose from 96% to 97%. Ling dropped from 72% to 60%. Yao Xiao rose from 77% to 80%. The scene shifts to Thursday evening. At this moment, Yitchin suddenly jolts awake, cursing under his breath. Damn. Runji, the wealthy woman, immediately rushes over, hugging him tightly and calling out, Ji-chen, you're finally awake. Instinctively, Yitchin pushes her away and asks, where am I? Runji quickly changes her attitude, shouting, it's all that damn Taehyung's fault. He knocked you out during the match yesterday, so I immediately called a medical team to treat you. Luckily, you only had a concussion, no lasting damage. Yitchin immediately clutches his head, panicked, and asks, I passed out? Doesn't that mean it was live-streamed? My perfect image? Before he can finish speaking, Runji pulls out a stock transfer agreement for the production team of the Idol Survival Show and says, don't worry, Ji-chen. I immediately cut the live stream and bought out the entire production team for the Idol show right away. Now I'm the largest decision maker in the program. All the cameras are under my control. But Yitchin was still extremely angry. He yelled loudly, that damn Taehyung. For 4 days straight, a regular person has been riding on my back, causing trouble, stealing my spotlight, and taking my fame. Even Lee Sang-yi is helping him go against me. Taehyung must have been set up by another company to suppress me. Which company is it? The rich woman, Runji, immediately comforted him, saying, don't worry, Ji-chen, I've already investigated. Taehyung is really just a student from Jiang University, a nobody who got lucky by pure chance. I've already sent people to deal with him, and we've created a lot of negative news about him. Things like physically abusing his ex-girlfriend, stealing luxury items, faking credentials, and harassing female classmates. His life is over. Ji-chen knew how capable she was and said, I know you won't let me down. You'll take care of all the obstacles. Besides, Taehyung is just an ordinary guy with no background at all. On the last day, all I need to do is look good, stay confident, and win the competition. Hearing this, Yitchin immediately patted Runji's head and praised her. Not bad. You're the most devoted, wealthy, and understanding fan of mine. You haven't disappointed me. So, the two of them had some wonderful moments together in the tent, and Taehyung had seen it all. At that moment, he was happily thinking to himself, that woman made such a big fuss yesterday, bringing the medical team to the island and deliberately staying behind, refusing to leave. I knew something was up. Sure enough, after days of fun, it's finally time to end this unfair game. Fast forward to 9 a.m. the next day. Everyone had gathered at the beach. MC Dahai took the microphone and announced, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the final day of Idols on the deserted island. The final battle will take place on Fantasy Island, located 5 kilometers from Puvian Island. From Puvian, the first person to use the wooden raft provided by the production team to reach Fantasy Island will have the chance to choose their weapon first. Once all 3 guest teams have their weapons, the survival battle will begin. The final winner will receive a 1 million yuan prize. If by chance a couple of guests who previously chose each other successfully reach Fantasy Island together, they will earn the right to use the island for the next 3 days. The Dream Island is equipped with a top-notch staff of butlers, chefs, and servants. It also offers activities like parasailing, deep-sea diving, private yachts, and many other luxurious perks. In short, everything you can imagine for the ultimate indulgence is available on Dream Island. Excited yet? Then let's set sail right away. At the sound of the MC's signal, the 3 teams immediately began pushing their rafts into the sea. Each team's members remained the same as the day before. Taehyung was with Lee Sang-yi, Yitchin was with Yao Xiao, and Park Ta-jun was with Ling. Up until now, Yitchin still dreamed of doing something inappropriate with Lee Sang-yi. In his mind, he kept repeating Lee Sang-yi, today, you will be mine. Backstage, wealthy woman Runji was dressed in a stunning wedding gown, holding a flag with the slogan, Ji-chen, I love you. She kept shouting loudly, Ji-chen, go for it. Handsome, crush that useless Taehyung for me. Despite the astonished looks from the 2 MCs, she shamelessly continued to cry and mutter to herself, youth only comes once. The beautiful moments passed by so quickly. When he wins the championship, he'll definitely hug me tightly. MC Taehyung was about to say something but was immediately stopped by MC Xiaobai, who cut him off. If you don't know what to say, it's best if you just keep your mouth shut, Xiaobai said. Let's get back to the raft race of the three teams. At this point, MC Taehyung cleared his throat and began narrating the competition. It seems like Taehyung and Sangyi are a bit faster than the other teams, but paddling isn't about strength. If they don't conserve their energy, there's a good chance they won't make it through the second half. In the next moment, a rope on Taehyung's raft suddenly snapped in two, catching Lee Sang-yi off guard, who exclaimed, "Why did the raft come apart?" The online community quickly noticed the issue. This was clearly a scheme by the production team that was now obvious. "Turn off the cameras, seriously," one person shouted. "The production team is so pathetic," another person angrily said. "If you don't like it, just leave. Nobody's forcing you to watch, idiot." It was clear that Taehyung had made a mistake in handling the raft, causing it to break, but somehow he was still trying to blame the production team. Despite the difficult situation, Taehyung remained incredibly calm, not surprised at all. A few days ago, they were still secretly making moves, but by today they had completely dropped all pretense and openly shown their true colors. When Yitchin saw this scene, he couldn't help but taunt. "Taehyung, your luck is really terrible. What a shame. I wanted to defeat you fair and square, but it seems even fate is against you. Ha ha ha. Well then, goodbye, I'm leaving now." Behind the scenes, an employee quickly ran in and reported, "Sir, the large unmanned rescue drone is ready and can save people at any time you wish." But the wealthy lady Rum-ji gave a sly grin and said, "No need to rush. Let them stay out there in the sea and struggle for their lives. Let them understand the consequences of offending Yitchin." Seeing the situation getting worse, Lee Sang-yi spoke up. "I have a plan. Half of my raft is fairly large. You can sit on it and row straight to the finish. There's still a chance to catch up with them." The online community immediately praised. "Sang-yi is so great. How can there be such a lovely girl? Program producers, be human, stop acting like dogs. You can't even compete fairly. What's the point of justice or honor anymore?" After that, Taehyung let out a cold laugh, confirming that he would definitely win. And not just that, we have to win together. With that, he quickly put the two halves of the wooden raft together and ordered Sang-yi, "Get on the raft. Hurry up." While Lee Sang-yi still looked confused about what Taehyung was planning, Taehyung suddenly shouted, "Hold on tight. I'm about to start the race." Before anyone could react, Taehyung's legs kicked out like the blades of a large fan, sending the wooden raft speeding forward with incredible force. This left the online community in a frenzy of amazed comments. Is this what people mean by human propeller? What kind of alien is Taehyung really? Holy shit. Even an Olympic freestyle swimming champion would bow down to Taehyung. Wealthy Lady Rum-ji and the two MCs backstage were experiencing a mental overload. Meanwhile, Lee Sang-yi blushed and silently praised, "Taehyung is amazing." As a result, his favorite level increased by 3%. Lee Sang-yi's current favorite level had reached 95%. He didn't want to be seen as useless. Sang-yi immediately gripped both sides of the wooden raft with her legs and shouted loudly, "I'll help you." At that moment, the raft became incredibly steady, but something about her position seemed a bit off. Feeling more motivated, Taehyung quickly picked up speed, heading toward the finish line as fast as his speedboat. Meanwhile, Yitchin was frantically climbing forward, just a few dozen meters from the shore. He felt the victory was already in his grasp, but then something unexpected happened. A wave over 5 meters high suddenly appeared behind him. Before he could even process what was happening, he saw Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi approaching with a fierce determination. When he spotted Taehyung, his eyes nearly popped out and his mouth kept yelling, "No way. It's like he's hacking the game." The online community exploded with comments. "Ha ha ha, look at Yitchin's face, guys. I screenshot it. Add a meme sticker, of course." Taehyung must have taken performance-enhancing drugs. Report him idiots. This show is clearly trying to sabotage Yitchin. Clearly, Taehyung's platform has an engine attached to it. I'm dying of laughter. The production team, both inside and out, didn't seem human, and Yitchin was even more panicked. He immediately turned to give orders to Yao Xiao. "Hurry up and climb faster. What are you doing? Do you want to lose or something?" Yao Xiao, clearly annoyed, snapped back, "I'm climbing all right. If you're so great, try climbing faster than me." Then, Taehyung smoothly made his way to the finish line with determination. Along with the pale face of Yitchin, MC Taehyung confirmed that Taehyung was the winner. But that was at the end. Taehyung even picked up Lee Sang-yi and asked her, "Are you tired? Let me take you to the shore so you can rest for a bit." At this point, the online community couldn't stay calm anymore. The comments flooded the screen. Oh my god, is this scene for real? It's so sweet. Taehyung, from today on, you're the only god in my heart. I'm officially a hardcore fan, the most loyal fan on earth. Wow, seeing Sang-yi being carried down looks so sweet. Taehyung's charm has definitely reached maximum level. Haha, I told you Taehyung would definitely win. Against absolute strength, all the bad plans are meaningless. The wooden raft broke apart in the middle of the road, and the rescue team still hadn't arrived. Are you all trying to kill someone? The show is now suspected of attempted murder. Someone should just report the organizer directly. Seriously, con people. Shu Ji-chen was so cheerful just a while ago, and now his face is completely dark. This is honestly too funny. The contrast is so clear. He was ahead because of the fake lead, but now he's been slapped in the face hard. Behind the scenes, wealthy woman Run-ji seemed to be going crazy, constantly swearing with an expression of pure rage. Meanwhile, the audience's voting numbers changed drastically. Taehyung's score shot up from 85% to 99%, while Shu Ji-chen's dropped from 70% to 45%. This sent Run-jae into a frenzy of curses, angrily asking where all Ji-chen's fans had gone. Why wasn't anyone supporting him? How could his numbers drop like that? A subordinate then rushed in, shouting that this might be related to public opinion online. Right now, there are a lot of negative rumors about Ji-chen circulating on the internet. The top 3 trending topics are 1. Taehyung's human-shaped boat. 2. The breakup of the love raft. 3. Ordinary person Taehyung dominating. Below, there are a few videos with shocking titles. In just 5 short days, an ordinary person used absolute strength to show us what true charisma looks like in a man. A perfect image, a star with massive popularity. But in front of ordinary people, he was weak, unable to take even one hit. Is this the peak of fame thanks to connections? And the one who is completely losing his mind right now is none other than Yitchin. He's trembling, silently cursing the filthy scum. Don't tell me you're too scared to face me like a man. Suddenly, wealthy woman Run-ji, hiding her earphones, called Brother Ji-chen. The support votes online have all been taken over by Taehyung. But don't be angry, Ji-chen, because I've already set up the ultimate move. It will definitely help you turn things around. Here's the plan. After hearing the plan, Ji-chen's face immediately turned dark. He whispered into his earphones. That's still not enough. Winning this competition isn't the main goal anymore. That Taehyung, I want his life to end along with this competition. At this moment, the 3 teams gathered in front of a game machine. Following that, the host Taehyung grabbed the microphone to make an announcement. All 6 guests are here now, right? Then I'll announce the results of the recent competition. Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi's team took first place, while Xu Yitchin and Yao Xiao's team came in second. As for the team of Fap Tai-jun and Bu Ling, they finished last because they used too much force and broke the wooden raft, which delayed their arrival to Dream Island. Now, following the rankings, we'll proceed with the lucky draw using the game machine right here. First up is Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi's team. At MC Taehyung's signal, Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi pulled down the lever together. Immediately, 2 non-stick frying pans shot out of the machine. The audience fell silent, unsure of what to say. Noticing the awkward atmosphere, MC Taehyung quickly spoke up to ease the tension. Oh wow, it seems like Taehyung's team has really bad luck. They ended up with non-stick pans. But hey, whether you're traveling or at home, they're great for cooking and even self-defense, so maybe it's not as bad as we think. Next up is the team of Xu Yitchin and Yao Xiao. As if planned, the moment they pulled the lever, countless items poured out like rain. The helmet was full of ammunition and firearms. At that moment, the host Taehyung had to step in to smooth things over. Oh my goodness, what in the world is this? I can't believe it's a sniper rifle and an assault rifle, and there are even 500 paintball rounds and high-grade protective helmets. Then the online community started flooding the comments. Wow, Yitchin is so handsome. Oh my gosh, seriously, he's just way too handsome. I'm stealing some of his good luck. I didn't know Ji-chen was so perfect, and on top of that, he's like a lucky emperor. Is there even a chance for the rest of us within a round? But do those die-hard fans really think this was luck? It's honestly laughable. This was all set up by the production team in advance, those fools. Next, Park Tai-jun and Bu Ling pulled out 2 pistols with 7 paintball rounds. Host Taehyung stepped in once again. Looks like Park Tai-jun is also quite lucky, drawing 2 pistols with 7 paintball rounds. Alright, let's get started with the rules for this survival shooting game. The rules are simple. If you get hit in a vital spot with a paintball, you're out. The entire Dream Island is a battlefield, but it has a safety zone that gradually shrinks. The area marked by the drone teams in the sky is the survival zone. Anyone who fails to enter this survival zone within a minute will be eliminated, no questions asked. In addition, The male winner gets a revival card, which allows them to revive any female contestant. The revived female contestant will be considered successfully paired with the male winner, and they must enjoy the victory together. Of course, the female guest cannot refuse this pairing. After hearing the rules, Yitchin felt excited and thought to himself, I will make sure Taehyung sees Lee Sang-yi become my woman before he dies. Behind the scenes, Mrs. Runji was equally delighted. She turned on the mic and told Yitchin that if Lee Sang-yi refused the program's rules, she would be labeled as arrogant and spoiled by millions of fans. She'll have no choice but to follow the rules of the show. Yitchin, this is the perfect stage I've prepared for you. After MC Dahai officially announced the start of the survival game, the three teams immediately rushed into the forest with their gear. At the same time, online users began commenting passionately. What's this resurrection card? This rule is ridiculous. Does the production team have no shame? They keep forcing Sang-yi and Yitchin to pair up like this. It's just so hard to watch. Taehyung, go up and take down that dirty player, Yitchin. What about Yitchin's luck? Luck is still skill, you know. Before they could run far, gunshots rang out from behind Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi's team. It turned out that the attackers were Yitchin and Yao Shao. He was clearly enjoying himself, cursing loudly, "You bastards! What are you two hiding from? Are you that scared of me? Where do you think you can run? Wouldn't it be better to face me and die with some dignity? You cowards." Before he finished speaking, gunfire erupted from behind Yitchin. But before Park Tae-jun could aim for a weak spot, Yitchin skillfully returned fire. As a result, Park Tae-jun was eliminated immediately. With that same smug expression on his face, Yitchin spoke up, "Park Tae-jun, you're still too green. I knew you'd try to sneak up from behind, and I've been waiting for you." Suddenly, Ling appeared from behind and aimed a gun directly at Yitchin's head. But before she could act, Yao Shao shot her in the hand, causing Ling to flinch in panic. After subduing Ling, Yitchin arrogantly ordered, "Don't worry, I won't kill you. This way, you can watch me shoot Taehyung and win this game perfectly. If you had chosen me yesterday, maybe you'd still have a chance to win with me. Too bad you picked the wrong side. Now, no matter how much you regret it, it's too late." Meanwhile, online users eagerly jumped into the comments section. "Yitchin looks so handsome like this. Yitchin, please shoot me with that big gun of yours. The best way to die is by being shot by you with that huge gun. Ling deserves it. A traitor like her must pay in the end." After confiscating the guns from Ling and Park Tae-jun, Yitchin ordered, "Yao Shao, let's go." Yitchin's brutality even made Yao Shao feel a bit scared. After more than 30 minutes of searching for Taehyung, Yitchin couldn't stay calm any longer. He yelled desperately into the air, "Taehyung, how much longer are you planning to hide? Come on, let's go fight like men." Seeing that Taehyung hadn't responded, Yitchin turned to Yao Shao and ordered, "Hurry up and take off your bulletproof vest and helmet. Then go ahead of me to lure Taehyung out." Yao Shao was surprised by the request and said, "What? You want me to be bait? What if Taehyung ambushes me and I lose my chance to fight?" Yitchin stepped closer, flashing a cold, calculated smile, and reassured him, "Don't worry, once I win, I'll use a revival card to bring you back." As Yitchin struggled to find Taehyung, the wealthy woman, Runji, immediately shouted at her subordinates, "Where are they? I mean, where's Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi? Get someone to search for them as quickly as possible. Deploy all cameras and drones. Even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground, find them." After more than 15 minutes of searching with hidden cameras, a subordinate reported, "We can't find them. We've checked all the cameras and the drones haven't picked up any traces. It's like they've disappeared off the face of the earth." "Useless." The rich lady shouted, "Send double the drones now. Search every area for me." In stark contrast to her frantic urgency, Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi were leisurely enjoying a bath in the stream. Noticing Lee Sang-yi looking a bit anxious, Taehyung walked over and handed her a peeled mango, complimenting her. "I didn't expect this wild mango to be so big and fragrant. You should try it." Lee Sang-yi blushed at his words and replied, "The first bite, you should eat it." Without hesitation, Taehyung took a large bite, confirming, "I only bit one side so you can avoid it and eat from the other part." But Lee Sang-yi couldn't ignore this indirect kiss. She directly licked the spot where Taehyung had bitten, her face showing no hesitation, and with a smile, she reassured him, "I don't mind." Meanwhile, on the other side, Yitchin was fuming with rage, cursing aloud into the air, "That bastard, Taehyung, get out here now." Fuma Runzi backstage was also losing his composure. He quickly ordered his subordinates, if the cameras can't find him, retract the safe zone and force him out. His subordinate was startled and confirmed, "The safe zone has already been retracted, boss. We've been pulling it in at twice the planned speed." In stark contrast, Taehyung and Lee Sang-yi were leisurely moving around, almost as if they were on a carefree trip through the countryside, playfully catching butterflies and bees. Meanwhile, Yitchin, in a mood like a dog biting at everything, was frantically shooting at any sound, constantly swearing, "Dan, are you hiding in there?" At the same time, netizens jumped into the discussion with excitement. Yitchin really had a knack for humor. Yitchin was like a mad dog running in all directions. It was honestly hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. But where exactly have Taehyung and Sang-yi gone? Could it be that they've already escaped the island? I was really worried about Sang-yi's safety, especially since he's with that violent man, Taehyung. I'm not sure what's going on. What if they found a cave and Taehyung lured Lee Sang-yi into it?